this up. What's up, Joe? I'm letting the intro music play because this shit's a banger. I don't give a fuck. Joe, you alive? He did. What's up, KG?
Hey, what's poppin'?
Not too much. Not too much. So, last time I talked to you,
Ages ago.
it seems like everything was kind of going all right up in the Great White North, and now it's like full-on humanitarian crisis.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was always on the cusp of it. It's just it's kind of a thing that the Canadian population is heavily propagandized, and therefore everyone is regarding Canada because you know what information comes out of Canada is what they want you to hear about it. But it's, you know, if you're perceptive enough, like the incompetence is not exactly a secret, right? So it just takes a little critical thinking in that regard. So yeah, it was always a bit of a problem here, and there's just you know, it's just getting worse, and it's getting exponentially worse. So
Yeah, so it's funny. There's a guy named Mark Scott Emery, I believe his name is. I follow him on Instagram. He's a big weed guy, but he's Canadian, and he's been talking about, you know, anti-mask and against the lockdowns and all kinds of shit for a long time. And I was just like, oh, this guy's just, you know, he doesn't like wearing masks, he doesn't like the lockdowns, you know, I'm right there with him, whatever. But I didn't, and then he started ramping it up a little bit. And the problem was he was using words like humanitarian crisis and you know, crimes against humanity and stuff for a while. But now I saw this video of these people at a gas station, and what looks like the National Guard for America swoops in. They block all the exits, and they're pointing guns at people, and they're like, "You're now under arrest," and they're getting people out of cars because they weren't obeying the curfew.
huh.
That's
I don't.
that's a good video, dude.
I'll see if I can find it. I can't remember.
Was that in Quebec? I would assume it probably was.
I don't know. All I remember is
American,
seeing like, what the
something,
fuck's going on? Like, they were clearing cars like they were looking for a bomb or some shit, and I was like,
Yeah,
whoa.
all of the provinces have are on different levels of lockdown. Mine's currently just like there's no curfew, but the police can kind of like bug you if you're wandering around or driving around at like certain hours. They'll be like, "Hey, what are you doing? All the grocery shops are closed."
Right.
You know, they basically just don't want you to like associate with people right now. But I mean, as shitty as it is, I kind of get it because I don't know how it is in the U.S., but we have a shit ton of random variants of the and mutations of the virus now. So it's like, you know, it's like this or like people get worse, and it's probably gonna get a lot worse even with these lockdowns because they're like, you know, they should have gone all the way with it or not done it at all. You
I
know,
definitely
follow
understand
Chris
that
Scott?
sentiment, but it's like it's been like a year. I mean,
well,
you know,
I
when
mean
the
now,
lockdown ends, it's not like you're gonna be able to starve coronavirus out. You know, when lockdown ends and
I mean,
everybody
it's
gets together, there's
yeah,
gonna be
it's
just a huge outbreak.
yeah, it's pretty much just you know, lose at this point, right?
Yeah,
Like
I mean,
they were so half-assed about it that we allowed like multiple variants to come into the country, and then those have further mutated from there. So it's like you have these strains that'll like kill young people. So
dang,
you
they
know what I mean?
they kind of double fucked you guys because they're like they locked down the citizens, but they didn't stop immigration.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like it was really dumb. So you know they took half measures, and now look, now everything is fucked. Like it's too late now, unless they want to go full 1984 mode. It's like you can't really deal with the pandemic, and if you just let people wander around, then you've got rapidly mutating strains from across the globe. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
double
it's
fuck.
like,
That's what I'm saying.
yeah, it's lose-lose no matter what.
Yeah,
So
I feel like 2 weeks hard and fast lockdown, like maybe around March of last year. You could have maybe done that just to get everybody to realize, oh, okay, this is serious.
oh, they should have done it ages ago.
Which they did not
Ages
do.
ago.
I mean, if you're
Yeah.
gonna do a lockdown at all, you know what I'm saying. But
Well,
You mean like
they
February?
should have just like closed the borders to so many people like from the go, right? But
Oh,
they didn't because like
100%.
they had Mr. Dress Up had to fucking say it would be racist for like ages. You know, don't like when Donald Trump in like way back in 2020 was like, yeah, we're gonna close the border to China. Like the first thing our leader did was like dress up like a Chinaman and talk about how great multiculturalism was. Like just dumb.
Culty, baby.
yeah, it's fucked, bro. Cause they call and then I can't remember, but it was a huge double standard of where he closed the borders. They called him racist, and then when he opened the borders, they called him, reckless regarding
Yeah,
the
exactly.
pandemic.
Oh yeah, like I've got like an external hard drive full of stuff.
Oh, you're the
pertaining to
guy.
that.
That's right.
Yeah.
I gotta send you
Yeah.
some episodes of ours.
Oh yeah.
So, real quick, who do you think's the bigger Chad? Pierre on your side, or we'll go for Ted Cruz
Pierre
or
who?
Trump if you don't follow our smaller people.
I know who Ted Cruz is, but Pierre who?
Oh shit! Hold up. I almost can't pronounce his last name. Please hold.
I was
I'm
gonna say
spell it,
this.
hang on.
Joe knows obscure
Well,
Canadian
no,
political figures. It's
No, but
funny
I mean,
that he knows.
Most of my podcasters are Canadian.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot. Joe's
Is it
basically
like
half a fucking.
I think it's
league.
like Poilievre or something. Is that
yeah,
who you're
yeah, there you
referring
go.
to?
Yeah.
He's alright at times. I think that sometimes he can get a little ahead of himself and speak passionately rather than factually, which is to his detriment at times, as the left wing is quick to jump on literally anything, and they're pretty much immune to criticism because the media was bought by them back in like 2018 for like 40 some off $1 million.
You know what's wild is I didn't know this. I was listening to Joe Rogan of all things today. I haven't listened to Joe Rogan in a while, but I don't know. Just got in the mood because I was watching This Past Weekend with Theo Vaughn and Joe. You'll be pleased to hear I listened to my first episode of Your Mom's House the other day.
Whoa, fuck yes.
It was pretty good, and I was like, fuck, man, we do the same shit. If we were famous, this is what we'd be doing. It's fucking ridiculous. One of us has to have a really good stand-up career, and then this show will take off.
Fine. I'll be the fat dad bod, and you can
Yeah.
have the fucking stand-up.
Dude,
career.
I'll
That's
trans
right.
it up, turn into Christina P.
I still
Oh,
think
man.
she's fucking better than fucking like I like both of them together, but her podcast because they each have a standalone. Hers is more silly, and his is more like interviews with like athletes and shit. But
Oh, he's trying to be Joe.
yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
it's-
I'm
it's
trying to be
his-
Joe. Fuck me, dude.
I mean, yeah, but like she's a little bit more edgy. Like he will
Really?
say, yeah, when you look at him individually and look at like the jokes where the things will just accidentally come out of their mouth and like you'll hear it bleeped and you're like, I think I like one of you uncensored a lot more than the other. Because I mean,
Yeah.
like they're like it reminds me of like someone who grew up in the '90s. If you do something that is silly or ignorant, you know, we have words for that. Now we're not allowed to say them, but when you grew up and said them for 20 years, well, they slide the fuck out all day long.
Bro, did you see that clip of Joey Diaz on there recently? He was oh man. He was talking about eating this girl out that only had one leg. Oh, dude,
Oh,
it was
missed it.
disgusting. And it was so funny. Christina P is just like mortified. Mortified. He's talking about fucking her in the mouth and stuff, and it's just like, even I was like, oh my god. Anyway,
I mean, that's a story, isn't it? Like that's a funny experience to to tell down the road.
We got Vape Nash over here, bro. Fuck with that
No,
sensitivity. It's alright. Yeah. Well, apparently he had been like flirting with her for a long time, and then finally one day he was like delivering Chinese food that had drugs in the bottom of it. And then yeah, he saw her and then like went in and like he went down on her and she went down on him, but they didn't have sex. That was like one of the weird caveats of the story to me. But I guess it happens, you know. Man on the move. Oh, but yeah, it was so funny because Tom Segura was laughing his ass off. Christina was like, "Oh my god, oh my god." All right, let me see. I love Thursday streams if I do a Tuesday stream because all the shit is ready. It's just up and ready. It's just a click through. Usually by Tuesday after Thursday, I've shut the computer down at least once. I have to redo all of it. All right. So have you? Oh look, KG already knows what's up. Okay.
I just want to know what's up with this PS90 I'm looking at.
Hello.
It's like a meme.
Yeah, the semi-automatic P90.
It's something like anime. It's like I don't know. Check out this scope though.
So what do you oh, Jesus Christ.
put
So what do
this
you
up.
think's a better PS90 for the everyman? A 22 like a Ruger 1022 converted
Oh,
or
God, dude.
a well, hey, look, you make fun of that shit all day long, but it fucking works. Or a regular AR-15 with the PS90 upper.
So okay, so the first off, we'll have to get this out of the way. The PS90 is the civilian variant of the P90 made by FN. That's the official designation for it.
So it's like the
So-
AR-15 to M4. Like
No.
Kind of,
Yeah.
like FN makes like an actual gun called the PS90. So if you're just like referring to like an aftermarket bullpup setup kind of thing, bullpup being trigger in front of the magwell, I guess you could say. So magwell rear, trigger and grip front.
yeah.
I would suggest not doing that to anything. It's not the same as like an actual bullpup ergonomically, and it ends up handling
No.
strange.
I'm prone to
It's just
failure.
the balance. The balance is strange. It can be, yeah. That really depends on the quality of the kit generally, but the big thing is that like rifles specifically designed to be bullpup rifles are balanced to be handleable as such, right?
Right.
But like aftermarket parts, no. Like you're basically like messing with a rifle that was made to just be in standard configuration.
Well, yeah. Look at this. So I was gonna say you're gonna see some memes of like bullpups that should
Yes.
not be bullpups. Like, look at this shit.
Well, I mean that's just like the British service rifle with an AK mag, right?
Well, it
which
looks
is
like an
doable.
AK lower on the back. Like here's the flip safety and everything.
I can't really see
Charging
it.
handle. It should be in.
Oh, no kidding. Okay, no, I see it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's fucked, dude.
it is a little weird.
Uh,
I mean, people
the
do a
joke
lot
is
of
funny, too.
people do a lot of creative like art. with,
Shout out to my man with the single shot 50B with the 50 cal that detonated in his fucking
Bro,
face.
you saw that?
Oh, that's sick.
I saw that posted. I was at work, saw the thumbnail, and watched that video like 4 minutes after it came
Bro,
out. I
have
was
you
like,
seen that,
fucking
KG?
what?
I haven't. That sounds pretty scary.
So this guy
Just
is
go to his
shooting-
video. It's like 6
Yeah,
minutes
let me
in.
see if I can find it. So this guy is
Oh,
shooting a
shit.
50 cal, right? And he's
It's
using.
the single shot 50 by.
I almost
damn
think
it.
he might have made that shit,
Is it-
but it's a
is it
single
No,
shot.
no,
50.
he didn't make. You can buy them. Yeah, it's Russian, or it's not Russian made, but you can buy them for like $2,000. It's like stupid
Okay.
cheap.
So he's firing
That is
slap
pretty cheap for
rounds.
50
Have
cal.
you heard of that?
I know, like I've heard of it, but I don't know what they are.
I think they're just like almost like plus P rounds or just something like that. Here, let me see if this.
It's called Serbu RN50.
Oh fuck! I'm ready for this guy to.
Hold on, let me.
You got the
see.
video?
He's not.
Yeah,
he
I'll-
doesn't.
I'll get
I'm
the
guessing
YouTube
because
video.
it's like.
Oh no, I got the video. Hang on.
He says these rounds are extremely rare and they're very old. They're like $100 a piece. They're not manufactured anymore. So yeah, old rounds, they're kind of expensive. Oh, let me get the actual YouTube video. Kentucky Ballistics, yeah, that's who it was. Well, anyways,
No,
like,
I posted it to you.
yeah, I found it. See, it's like, am I logged in? No, why is it?
I'm ready.
You get
Bro,
timestamp in
that's
1 second.
crazy.
Go to 4
Like-
minutes 25 seconds.
Yeah, no, okay, so I clicked on the link from the article, and it was literally the timestamp that you sent me, but I didn't even... That's some...
Oh.
Dude, I feel like the universe is tearing itself apart, like, on an unrelated note. So you can see here, like, you put a round in this, like... Oh, let me pull this up on stream.
Yeah.
You put a round in there.
So
And
you
then
screw the cap on,
his cap
and it
right
has
here.
to be within like a millimeter for it to click down into the like what's the grip, okay? So it is dummy proof as far as if it's not a closed chamber, it will not let you lock it in place,
Here,
okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fucking War Thunder, are you kidding me, bruh?
Because this has been gone over 1,000 times by like so many different people, including
watch
the
this.
guy who made the rifle. Did like
So,
a whole like
he's-
45-minute video on this.
He's taking the round.
last shell casing out, and now I'm loading
And he
in
puts a new
the
one
slap
in.
round.
You can hear him say it.
I screw the cap on all the way,
So it looks like you
and the
cock a
gun
hammer
closes
back too.
completely, and everything is functioning as normal. And one thing,
So he's about to explain that like you can't shut that gun if it's not, you know, all the way screwed down, or, you know, the round's too big or whatever. It actually physically prevents it from closing. But that cap that he put on, it
Yeah.
explodes and it shears the threads off of the thing. And they estimated that it was like 8,000 pounds of pressure, and a normal 50 BMG is like 5, or it was something ridiculous like that. But here, we'll just watch it explode. Oh, it's great.
about that, but I am going to show you what happened just so you can see what
But
happened.
yeah, I
to
guess
me
be
that day.
careful when you're shooting old ammo.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh no.
Dude, it
That poor
blows
guy.
his safety glasses off.
It's a good thing he was wearing iPro too, eh?
Well, so
Look at that.
So
That's
when
why
I
you wear
pulled the
your iPro.
100%. And then the crazy thing
Yeah.
is this right here. So on the firearm, there's these little ears those are actually what like prevent it from closing if it's not chambered correctly. Let's see, I don't know. This is some other shit. Anyways, one of the ears came off and like lodged itself in his neck, and he was there with his dad filming, and he had to hold his thumb inside of his jugular vein until they could, like, basically they called the ambulance on the way to the hospital, and it met him halfway. And he took his thumb and he said he put his shirt around it and jammed it inside of his neck. And can you imagine if his dad wasn't there, or, you know, if their truck didn't start or whatever? They would have just found him laying in the woods.
Oh yeah, he would have been in deep shit for sure.
He broke.
That's crazy, man.
He broke his nose and his orbital socket in 3 places, and then a finger, I believe. He got, bro, got away.
He's lucky. He's really lucky.
The reason this scar is so big is because they actually had to like open up his chest because one of his lungs collapsed as well. And
I forgot the unit of measure, but the pressure is 50,000 whatever, okay?
50
For those
yeah.
slap rounds. Yeah, it's 50,000. The slap round that ignited was somewhere between 80 to 90.
Wow, so it was like by a decimal of, or by a factor of 10, I was off. 80,000 pounds.
Yeah, so I listened to like the 45-minute video from the engineer, like the guy Serbu, right? So like this is his claim to fame, is this single shot 50, right? It's a huge fucking thing. And I don't think he mentioned the breaking point of that rifle, but keep in mind what Flo's showing you right here. It sheared that screw-on cap. It ripped the threads off because the engineer. I don't think he said what the breaking point was of like complete failure like this. But like obviously you would test that. So like what's failure? 60,000, 70,000? You know what I mean? This fucker did 80 to 90.
Oh yeah, it just blew. Yeah, it's broken. Yeah, that thing just split right up. That's crazy.
The barrel was the crazy thing to me that it threw the barrel. I forgot how many fucking feet. It's like a 20-pound barrel. It just threw it like it was fucking paper.
Can see what happened.
Oh, just insane.
I've watched a lot of videos. I mean, there's only so many like gun explosion videos on the internet. Like I think all of us have seen all of them. But like, God, I mean, like there's only a handful of times that something completely just fucking detonates. You know, out especially in the U.S. Like there's a bunch in the Middle East with AKs just fucking grenading. Or, you know, like ARs exploding at the range, and then you're like, well, you know, you tapped and cooled it out, and, you know, God knows the build quality of what you did with a, you know, Smith & Wesson build, but
Oh yeah, you know it. You know it.
I like lever actions. What are you doing to me? You know that. Do you hate me? Oh, I see wood furniture.
Yeah, I like those too. That's awesome. The F2000 would be the military one, and the FS2000 would be the civilian variant. I've fired the FS2000.
Did it have that crazy stock or that crazy sight that's like super rare?
No, it just had the pick rail, and then of course there was like an aim pro on it because you know it was already owned by someone. So it
How did that feel?
uh it felt tall. I don't know if that's I don't know if that really says much, but it definitely it was all right. It just felt a little tall. That's all.
I think that's what Kentucky, no, I'm sorry, Texas Planker. Fuck, someone did a video like 3-4 months ago with one that they finally got their hands on one, and they were saying that it was like it feels like it's just like fucking 6 inches taller than you want it to be.
And it ejects below the rifle, which is neat. I will say that's kind of neat. Like it's got ambidextrous. The Tavor, and everyone hates it because it's overpriced and over-engineered, and then it's not that accurate. Yeah. So it's not ambidextrous. Yeah, it's not ambidextrous. Yeah, the classic AUG. They look cool. Well, actually, there's one reason to use the FAMAS that transcends military usage, and that's that it was in Metal Gear Solid. Yeah, so that's like the real reason to use any gun is when it's in a video game. It's important. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if it's in... Hell yeah.
I won't say who it is in my family, but there's someone who bought a single action Colt.
Damn it, I've been muted this whole fucking time.
They got a little bit older. Yeah, I think when he turned about 20 or 21, that was the celebration. Was for his birthday around that time. We got a single action, and he was like, I can live out all my dreams. All of my dreams in life have been completed. And just for like 6 months, all the motherfucker did was just watch TV and just fucking live out his oscillate fucking wet dreams. Your ocelot, I would say.
Yeah, it's all good. Yeah, I like those single action army like revolvers. They're
Fucking
fun.
fuds.
I had a Vaquero at one point, a Ruger Vaquero, which is similar,
Ooh.
but it was all right. Like, couldn't complain. It was an accurate revolver, and it had a nice light trigger squeeze. So, well, yeah, it was actually compared to like a Smith and Wesson double action pistol. It was probably like a little heavier. Like, it wasn't as good, but
What
yeah,
caliber?
it's hard. Oh, the Vaquero was in, if I recall correctly, it was 357 and 38 special.
Oh yeah. I mean, well, that's
So,
I.
nothing special, but
Yeah, I almost like more weight on a revolver. Sometimes, like if it's a big heavy round, not necessarily 357, but like 44 Magnum or something like that.
oh yeah,
That weight is just makes them so accurate.
I was just using it as a range toy anyway. So,
So you got to pick one of these. Which are you picking?
I'm gonna have to go with the FAMAS because it was in Metal Gear.
Hell yeah, Joe.
I'm just gonna be a stayer. I mean, I grew up on K boards. I have to stay true to my roots.
Yeah,
Hey,
right.
you can't go wrong with the AUG. It's like the OG of bullpups, right? That's the cool one.
Well, it's simple, like
And
you
it
said.
just
It's
looks-
not over-engineered.
No, it looks like something that someone. It's like it reminds me of like how like during the space race we felt the future would be, or like
Yeah.
who
those
makes the
designs.
G36? Heckler and Koch.
Germans, yeah, Heckler and Koch, yeah.
Yeah, there's the site almost kind of reminds me of that. If it was,
Yeah.
if it wasn't like two little columns.
But like I've wondered if they've looked at the when they were designing the trigger guard on the stayer, if they were looking at the like AK donkey dicks and they were
Hell
like,
yeah.
how do we make this modern? I want to make this modern, like that good slant, in case you don't want to hold the foregrip, but you want to hold the trigger guard to really tuck that motherfucker in your shoulder.
Hmm.
Don't you make fun of my high points, motherfucker. You
Dude,
know I love
I'm
my
so
9-pound
mad.
fucking semi-auto that I can throw at someone after I fucking miss them 12 times.
My fucking friend sold a High Point 40 for $100, and I was like, I would have bought that all day. I'm the one that got him into guns. I'm like, bro, it's legal for you to do X, Y, and Z without a license or anything. And he's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, you just have to make sure you like look at the law and follow it. And I won't use specific terminology because it might give it away where I am, but like he was like, you're bullshitting, and he's like, I've never really looked into it. And I'm like, yeah. And then he just starts buying. He bought that instantly. And at first I was like, everybody hates on that shit. And then I watched a video of someone doing like a torture test with it, and Demolition Ranch, he actually shot it with another gun and it still worked.
They're not, my uncle had the 40, I think his was a 40. I mean, it's accurate enough. Like, it's not great, but like, if you're a very amateur shooter, it is on par with you. Mine's a 9. It's okay. I mean, it does exactly what it's supposed to be. It's a very cheap gun you can throw in a inconspicuous place around the house, and it'll be like, here, you stay here, and I'll probably never need you, but if I do, you're in this room.
Hmm.
See, this is what I'm saying. The SKS. The SKS
Oh, yeah.
bullpup.
Okay, when I was paying 120 and 150 for them locally, like, I have zero problems with someone trying to bubba an SKS. It's a truck gun at the end of the day. Don't you do that Capco bullshit. It's a fucking truck gun. It's just, it is what it is. You know what I mean?
I
mean, now if
suppose.
you can get an all matching Russian SKS at this point because of the embargo, they've become collector's items.
I almost bought one. It
they've
was
appreciated.
$300. I think it might have been a Yugo, but it was like from the 60s, and all the serial numbers matched up, and I was almost like, man, I just didn't need it at the time, but
I'm sitting on yeah, go on.
if I was gonna get an SKS, I would want to murder it and put it in like a fucking. I can't remember who makes the stock. Or not an SKS. I'm thinking of what's the garbage rod?
Mosin Nagant.
Yeah, I was thinking of Mosin Nagant. That's what I saw. That was all matching.
Even I mean,
They
honestly,
were
like even
$100. I used to buy them.
yeah, they used to be cheap. Even now, Mosin Nagants have appreciated a lot because of the embargo. They're becoming really rare.
Yeah, all matching $300 from 70
Can-
years ago.
Think of that sentence you just said. They're becoming rare.
They
Like,
are.
the place. I mean, yeah, I know. But I was like, is that not crazy?
Yeah,
like,
it's nuts. They used to be
the
everywhere
place-
for cheap.
Oh, like the place that we used to go to, like my local gun shop. You know, they can. It's normally like $50 to $100 cheaper than like Dick's Sporting Goods or any of those like big chains. And like Black Fridays, they'll do like the entry level Taurus semi-autos and some of those like
Oh my God.
for like under $200, right? It's just dirt fucking cheap. Like
Yeah.
last year, I'm like they were still. You could walk in there on Black Friday, or not Black Friday, but like just like a normal special they were having every 3 months, and you could pick up a entry level brand new semi-auto from like Smith or Taurus if you want to kill yourself for like $250 with
Dude,
an extra
don't
mag.
fucking talk shit about Taurus, bro.
For no, hang on, let me clarify. A Taurus semi-auto is very dangerous to everyone holding it.
No, it's not. You're wild. Maybe, okay, so if you got like a PT-111 first gen, they were dangerous if you dropped them. Because they've remade that gun literally 7 times now. Because they had the Gen 2, the Gen 2C, the G2, which was different. And then now they have the Gen 3 and something else. They're literally all exactly the same with different grip stippling. I fucking love that gun.
I had the 845, and it was a absolute chonker of a fucking gun. It
What
was
is that, a 45?
Yeah, it was double stack 45, and it just only liked premium fucking ammo.
Yeah. Well, I will say,
dad's
like,
dad had the one that was C for slim.
G2C or whatever.
They did one. It was like a
Yeah,
stack.
single
It
stack.
wasn't. Yeah, it was like staggered, I guess. But it was in 9, and it was like mine was the 845. He had like the 945 or something. I forgot their numbers, but it was like, so it went back. That was the gun I was telling you about, where it went to Taurus 3 times before they fixed it, the feeding issues, because it would consecutively stovepipe no matter what ammo you put in it.
You were just limp wristing it, bro. That's probably all it was.
Yeah, well, and a fucking Vice, when it fucking has issues, there's real problems with that gun, and you should never trust it.
Alright.
Yeah, Taurus doesn't really get a good rap. Usually for
they're-
good reason.
Yeah, they're like
Usually.
a mass manufacturer. They're gonna have issues. And they're
Well, I
they're
mean,
cheap.
most-
They're like
All big companies are like mass producing them, but it's the big thing is the QC on Taurus is like
that's
really
what I meant.
bad.
Yeah, it's Brazilians.
Quality control.
Or people in Miami, like they're both doing coke.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, also they just like I mean one big thing that causes the cost of a lot of things to go up is the QC process, because if a lot of the time if they spot something that they don't want, they just trash the whole item, right? So like a big part of the cost comes from essentially making up for the
gotcha.
losses, right?
Yeah, those
So, like-
tolerances do have to be pretty fine. Like I will say, I have had there are certain Tauruses that if you match them, or if you mismatch the magazines, like if the Taurus was made in Miami and you try and put Brazilian magazines, same model, same everything, they won't work. They'll like
I've heard that,
super
why?
super malfunction, as in like it'll fire one round, the magazine will eject itself, and it will not feed another round. It's like
That's kind of scary.
yeah. So you gotta
Yeah, that's
definitely.
super great to happen.
That's the thing is like, so for instance, that would happen if you use like a Brazilian made magazine, but if you got the ones that were made, are stamped made in USA on them, it wouldn't do that, because there's an extra hole. And I was always if you could just drill that in there and if it would work. But I'm like, even if I have to drill into my fucking magazine for it to work, I'm never gonna trust it. Like I'll just set that one aside for springs and parts and
range.
shit. But
Yeah, it's
try
a
and
range
find
thing,
a
'cause you can never
fucking
carry it.
try and find a fucking American-made Taurus magazine. Like very, very difficult. Just the standard ones.
That's
You can
gonna
get
be
like
like
the extendos and shit, but
I mean, it's
that's
gotta
gonna
cost
be right up there with the Keltec Sub 2000 that takes Glock mags, or the High Point carbine from.
Hey, the High Point
It's a
carbine
Glock
is
mag.
actually the High Point carbine is actually legit.
a lot of
Like,
people
No,
like
no,
the
I love
carbine.
it. I'm saying,
They're
but
actually-
finding it
they're
that takes
actually
Glock
good.
mags is hard. That's all I'm saying.
That's true. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, the
Same
High
with my
Point
Sub
carbine.
2000.
I'm a bit of a gun snob just because like I shoot a lot of high end guns, but I like the High Point carbine. Like I mean, normally like it works isn't the best qualifier for me, but sometimes you just it's just funny to dick around with it, like just
That tactical version's fucking not. I mean, it's not bad. I really do like that tactical version they came out with. It's all black, comes with like all the furniture that you would put on, the camoed one aftermarket. Because like back in the day, like I had one or two people that had them, and they would put furniture on them, and then they came out with the tactical version that has like the forend grip, and it's got the butt pad's a little bit slimmer, so it's a little bit shorter, about like an inch or some shit. But it's pretty fucking cool, man. But that's why I got a Sub 2000 from Keltec. Like it's awesome to have a rifle that fits into a laptop bag that you literally pull out. You pull it, you hold the pin, you snap it, so it folds in half, and then it's already loaded whenever you snap it in place. You just slap that fucking charging handle and start going.
Yeah, my friend
that's
had
cool
one
as
of
fuck to
those
have.
stolen out of his fucking truck.
Neat. Oh, shame.
Yeah, shitty. All right, anyways, so
You can talk about cool stuff. Look at Keltec. Look at some of the rifles or shotguns that they've come out with in the last 5 years, maybe 10 years, 5 years. Like they've had some really interesting designs. As
Just
far
not
as,
functional ones.
admittedly,
Yeah,
their pistols are good for what they are, but the rifles are really interesting.
I remember there was a guy that was really excited. He bought a Keltec RFB. It's like the Bullpup 308, if I recall correctly.
look at this shit.
And it would just not eat ammo. Like it would always malfunction.
What was wrong with it?
It was Keltec,
Do you
That's
think
pretty
this
much
is
what was
real
wrong with
right
it.
here?
unfortunately.
That seems totally
Like it looks like a 9
Usable?
millimeter.
You know what? I have a friend that actually got something similar. Obviously, like he
think-
got one with a stock, but he got something like that for his girlfriend as like a home defense gun.
I think it is because look at the stroke of this bolt. It doesn't go back as far
oh
as
yeah.
it normally would.
Like from the ground up. Honestly, like something like that would be good for like a really
I just
undertrained
know-
person.
Yeah, this
Like
this page,
simple controls and 9mm, like no problem.
Oh, 100%. Or even you could even do 45 if you're feeling froggy. But
Yeah, either way.
this page photoshops a lot of shit sometimes just for the meme.
No, one of my friends actually does have like a 9mm
Like this
AK, quote unquote AK.
I was gonna ask you, what is your take on 9mm AKs?
I mean, like, if you want, like, for me, like, I just look at that kind of stuff as like, like a toy, right? But I can see like there's like a degree of practicality to it too, because AKs are really simple. Like the charging handle is like very apparent. It's just on the right side of the gun, and it's easy. You just cock it back and let it go, and you're ready. Like there's not much to it. If you have a problem, you just cock it, right? And basically all of your function, all of your like troubleshooting is that charging handle, and the controls are really like straightforward on an AK. Like it's not like an AR requires you to learn like a few things, like where things are placed, right? Like the mag release is on your right side, your bolt release is on your left side, your charging handle's at the back. An AK is like your charging handles at the side. That's pretty much all you need, right? And then like
Oh,
your
yeah,
your
exactly.
safety is like whatever. Like,
Well, like
who cares about that?
you could watch
Everything else is
someone
just intuitive.
you could watch someone use an AK once and then be like, okay, I got it. But you could watch someone use an AR like 10, 15 times and still not know exactly what they're doing. Like, unless
Yeah,
you
it takes
never
Well, I
actually
mean, I
shot
think
one.
African child soldiers prove that, right?
Yeah, yeah. It takes,
Unironically, I mean.
yeah, unironically, it takes a little more work to learn an AR. Like the AR is superior in every single way,
Pretty much.
but
yeah.
the AK is just like it's just a little more intuitive. Like it's just a little easier to work with for like someone with very very minimal training. It's a pick up and play sort of rifle to an extent. Other than the fact that it's got rock-in magazines, but that's why the 9mm AK is so nice because it doesn't have a
There
rock-in
you go.
magazine. You just put it in, which is what makes it superior to a normal AK, in my opinion.
That was my qualm with the SKS with the Tapco setups. You really had to hook that fucking mag in because
Dude.
it wasn't the typical AK just flip and then shove in there. Because with the SKSs, you had to like shove it, you had to like hook it and shove it forward as you're slamming it up towards the bolt. So
Yeah,
it's like a 1, 2. Well, it's like 2.5 steps because you're clipping it, flicking your hand down, and then shoving it up second after that.
Yeah, it's a result of it not being meant to have detachable magazines, right? Unfortunately. But I actually had one of my SKS is like all matching parts, but the magazine for whatever reason is just Banjax. I guess the Ruskies that worked on it all those years ago just did a bad job. But I actually threw a Tapco mag on to use it at the range. Then I would put the factory mag back on for storage, and you know, if you can get the Tapco mags to work, they're all right. I think it's
It just
probably,
you just have to try it because your gun, the tolerances might be slightly different where it matters.
oh,
and then-
especially on those old SKSs because they're all
Yeah.
made by hand, right?
Yep, and just stamped, right? Stamped receivers.
Yeah, pretty much. Actually, I actually think that the receivers might be forged on SKSs. AKs were stamped, but I
Right.
think that the SKSs were forged.
Okay,
But
let's do
I-
this one before we move
Yeah.
on to the next page. Okay, do you want a fucking Colt? What do they call this thing? They had one for sale on like
fuck.
RK Guns for forever. Let me see if it's still there. And then is this a
On your
Browning?
SKS, could you get your those stripper clips, the new ones?
I've
did
never
you ever
used
get those to work?
I've never
Oh,
used
okay.
an e-stripper clip. I have buckets full of old ones. Just because
Yeah,
they
'cause,
were so
come on the
cheap.
fucking ammo.
Like they used to gun shops back in Canada here, a few years ago, were pretty much just giving away like old surplus SKS stripper clips.
Dude, what the fuck? Are you kidding me?
Like there were so many stripper. It was like Mosin bayonets here. We had so many of them, massive
yes.
supplies. So many
So-
Mosin bayonets, like old Russian oiling kits. Like I probably got like 4 or 5 like authentic
Oh,
military oiling
okay.
kits. Like
Now hold up. Now I still have the pouches.
yeah, and the
Like,
pouches.
I
Yeah,
have
we got the-
so
with
many
the
of those pouches.
Yeah, dozens and dozens of pouches. Like gun shops here used to just fucking hand them out like candy. You could ask for like extra sets, and they'd be like, "Yeah, sure, here you go." And they just wouldn't. They didn't have enough. Like you can get like old issue bags, like everything. And sometimes you could even find cleaning kits. You know how in SKS is at the back, there's like a slot in the stock.
Yes. Yep.
Like you could,
Yeah.
sometimes you just like poke them open, and the gun shops wouldn't remove anything from them. So
There could
you
be
get
all
it
kinds
was
of
like
shit
Kinder
there.
Surprise, right? Like just find stuff in the
Mine-
stock.
We wouldn't know anything
Mine
about
didn't
that in
come
the
with
US.
one, but I bought one, and it was so fucking cool.
Yeah,
I mean, it was completely useless. I never used the damn thing.
yeah.
But it was cool shit to have it in there. You'd be like, I have a trap door, and you know what? I can clean this when I go in the woods. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, this is cool. But that
It
goes
is
to like the interesting part of guns is like all the little things. That's why, like, it's not abnormal to be like, oh, like, do you like guns? Like, oh, do you like watches? Yes, it's for the same reason. It's the
Yeah.
little details that's so interesting of like how a design changed over 50 years or how.
Yeah, for
right.
sure. Yeah, I will say, while the SKS, like if someone wants a practical rifle, I would definitely not suggest an SKS, being that it's almost 100 years outdated at this point. But I will throw this out there. If the SKS were made today, as it were, it would be a very expensive rifle. I mean, other than the fact that it's got a wood stock and it has like a gajillion parts, but it's a piston-driven semi-automatic rifle with a forged receiver. Like,
Yeah.
That's true.
it's like it
Go
would
up,
be
Flo,
expensive
to the
made today.
$10,000 set. No, go back to where you were.
Oh, what, the AK bullpup again?
No, above that. It was the set of rifles for 10 grand.
Oh, it's like, I was trying to think, I guess consecutive serial numbers. He got like 2 SP5s. And like for some reason,
and they're
it's
just
10
they're just
grand for them,
Binary
yeah.
trigger set as.
$5,000 for a semi-automatic.
What does that say? I can't read.
It says
binary
consecutive
trigger.
serial numbers, binary trigger set, all accessories.
Okay.
Damn.
All right.
I mean, the consecutive serial numbers where the value's really coming from, though.
Right.
For those, for sure.
Yeah.
That's pretty fucking cool. As a collector myself, that's really cool.
Bro, do you know, so, oh my god, I'm blanking right now. What was that handgun that was like, officer issued? God, I'm trying to think.
What country? Or
U.S.
region?
It was, let me see.
Beretta?
Yes, the M9. So they had something called the like M9A or B. Let me do some googling. What is this one? And it was like a batch of M9s that they never released. I bet I could find it on the Wikipedia page. But anyways, yeah, that is like it's basically a Beretta M9, but it's got like it's just got something designated on the serial number, and they're like $20,000.
It's neat how that
Well,
can
it's like-
bump the value up, but I get it. It's like it's really rare, right? It's like winning the lottery if you can find 2 consecutive serial numbers.
Yeah, it's like the double printed coins, where
Yeah.
it's like it's just an absolute fluke, and you're like, well, I mean, they meant to do it with the guns, but you know, you're looking at the numbers of them, where it's such a small number that it's insanely awesome.
I heard that the new Beretta pistols, I don't know what designation. It's like 90. It's a 92 series, I would assume. I heard they're like pretty good pistols.
Like the 92 FS.
So- Yeah, it's one of the newer like updated models for that. It's apparently really nice. I haven't kept up, but like it's still like aesthetically the same pretty much. But they just did those like quality of life changes to make it a real contender. You know what I mean?
Have you shot a baby eagle, the Desert Eagle baby?
Oh, like the Jericho
what do they call
941.
No, I know, it's almost like a standard 9mm 45 semi-auto.
Yeah,
Was that the one that they were going for the military contract with?
yeah,
Is that real?
yeah. The
Okay.
Jericho 941. Actually, that was my first handgun.
So it says Beretta made
my first-
available
I
a
guess.
total of
I know your opinion of it. If it was your first, then yeah.
217 M9 pistols that were taken off the line from the government contract and given conventional civilian serial numbers with the BER prefix and Z suffix. Since the U.S. government never took legal ownership of the pistol, no DoD regulations were violated, and the individual shooters could purchase the arms directly. But yeah, there were 217 of them. So like, this one sold for $3,000, which seems low. Because when I first
bad at
heard
all.
about this, they were like 10 grand or 15 grand.
So that said, the shooting team, is that where most of them ended up, was on the shooting team?
Yeah, it must have been because like it had something to do with, I can't remember the exact story behind it, but they do this a lot where if they get like my friend has one that a Marine sold him, and apparently they get them for like however much it costs to make them, and then they just order them all at once and buy them privately instead of getting them through the military or something like that. But this was just like a really niche thing that happened once, but literally like the gun is exactly the same, but it's just got a couple extra things on the serial number.
It has history. It's got some history.
Provenance is worth so fucking much, and well, I mean, anything, any collection, cars is one thing that, I mean, you look at like who owned it, the story behind it. I mean, you can quadruple the value of something if it's something, like really cool story. Because I mean, it's, I mean, that's what you're doing, right? You're buying this super awesome thing.
Yeah, to go back to the Jericho 941. So it was my first handgun.
Oh yeah.
And I had the steel framed model. I thought it was okay. Like, it's one of those guns where, it's trying to imitate something else, which is fine. Like, it's basically trying to be the CZ75, right? But it's not quite this. It's like it looks similar, and like you can see like the ergonomic heritage, but it doesn't handle like one. And I will say that like the CZ75 feels a lot better in my hands compared to the Jericho 941. Like, so I guess it didn't quite, it didn't quite live up to what it's trying to base itself off of. But to say it's a bad handgun would be wrong of me. I just didn't like how it felt in my hands.
My first was another copy. It was a Versa Thunder.
Okay.
And
Versa Thunders.
yeah, I love that fucking gun, dude. To this day I regret selling it. I don't know. It's just a fun gun, dude. Like, it wasn't, it was a small 380 that had an open hammer, and it was very good for being very, very concealable.
Bro, this
here I am making fun of like the HK USP for having outdated ergos and being overrated, but
and you've got this like, exposed hammer high point right here. It's pretty good. It's got that
Jericho 941
safety.
Yeah, the slide safety is pretty nice. Safety. Yeah. I just like, okay, so a big problem with the Jericho 941 is that like, especially the older ones, like it's got such a, I'm really bad with my handgun anatomy, and I should be a lot better, but I guess you would call it like the ducktail or what have you, like where the web of your hand's gonna go. It's just low, like it should be higher.
Beaver tail? I think it depends.
Beaver tail, maybe.
Yeah,
I think it might be.
Shape.
I don't know. I always forget what it's called, and that's bad of me because I compete with these things. But the purchase,
it depends on the shape. Like they have different shapes and they have different names.
Yeah, the purchase on the 941, like it's outdated. Like you want like a really high purchase nowadays with modern shooting techniques. So like a lot of like guns from the 90s, like you can see like where the philosophy was. Like they didn't like train people to have such a high purchase on their guns like we do now. If you look at like modern striker fire pistols, like you can grip right the fuck up there,
pretty
like,
much
really high up. Like they want, like now it's all about like low bore axis, high purchase for like good recoil control and whatnot. But like older guns,
like
and like literally 10 years ago,
your forearms,
And look at how you have the shape of the grip of revolvers from like the fucking 70s and 80s, right?
Well, it's
And
not
then
that
look
easy
at
to find
guns
shit.
now where they're just competing for that low bore axis, where you have, you know, guns where they're just insanely low.
Well, if you want
To
to see
where
an
it's just,
insanely
you know,
low bore
awkward.
axis,
Yeah,
look
like
up
I mean,
look up the
look at the
Lago
Chippewa.
Alien. Look at the Lago Alien. I promise you that is like, I'm pretty
Is
sure
that
like,
worse than the Chippewa?
like you'll see Lago Alien. Oh man, this gun is so sick.
I've seen
Holy
this
shit!
So
before,
look at
yeah.
I've
the
never seen this before.
look at that thing. It's like a $5,000
Okay,
pistol.
it's a
It's so
SHOT Show
cool.
2020. Is it out?
Oh yeah, this thing's out. You
Okay,
have to like special order them. They're over $5,000 a piece. You got to get them imported from the Czech Republic.
but it's
Um,
a competition gun, yes?
oh,
Or no?
this thing, like not only is it a competition gun, but it's a production class competition gun. It's broke. Like if it were a video game, it would be overpowered. Like it's insane. Like it's got such a nice trigger, and it has like almost no felt recoil if you've got good technique, because the fucking bore axis is like
Oh,
in your hand.
go
Like,
back, Flo. Go
Hold
back,
on
Flo.
1 second.
and then it's got like you can just get the highest possible grip on it, and it's got like the craziest trigger guard undercut that just cuts like right up. Like look at the undercut on the trigger guard. Look how high.
It's
Yeah,
insane, dude.
it's-
Look how high
negative.
that is. Yeah, it's negative. Look how high, like where the web of your hand should go. Look how
That's
high
a good
that
idea,
is,
though.
man. It's an insane pistol. It's
Like-
probably one of the most like effective like innovations with pistols in a long time.
Oh, 'cause
I can't like sing its praises high enough. It's
Like I always thought that I'm trying to find the pistol that I really wanted to buy. I saw it on Demolition Ranch.
Yeah, that's.
Hang on.
Oh no, what have I done? The Urban
I'll
Carry
find it in a minute, but
G3.
yeah, just keep going.
Yeah.
It's one of those like, you know, ones where they made it just for insanely high grip.
Mhm.
It's just, I don't know, I would have no purpose for it besides just playing with it, but still.
Oh, I don't want to
My,
see this guy's ugly mug.
I just want
Wait,
to
see
fucking
how,
find
like,
videos of this
This
fucking
gun is
Margo.
like
This is
kind of
insane.
got the same thing going
Hudson
on.
H9. There you go.
Is that what this is called?
Hang on. I was looking for something else. Yeah, that's the video I wanted you to watch.
Yeah.
Is that no? That's and then that's suppressed. That's from
Oh yeah, it is.
yeah. That's yeah. That's it. You take those off to yeah. See,
That's neat.
it's
kinda
made
like
by
integral.
Silencer Co. It's called the Silencer Co. S9, I think.
So it's like an undermounted suppressor.
Yeah, it's integrally, and then you can change it from there.
Oh, that's cool as fuck.
It's part of the frame. Yeah. It
You guys
was
get
the
a lot of
first
fun
pistol
toys.
that they made.
You guys get a lot of fun toys down there. That's for sure.
Yo, it was so
I'm
funny.
jealous.
I didn't really like have an opinion on Demolition Ranch. I mean, I thought like it was a little gimmicky and stuff like that, but it was awesome when they banned the Honey Badger, and like his next upload was like a Honey Badger review.
That's awesome.
Yeah, like right when they first
I
did that.
I like Demo because he does have fun with it. That's his genre on YouTube, but he is very good at reviewing like all gimmicks and jokes aside about like shooting watermelons or, you know, like how many pillows can you shoot through, you know. He's one of those reviewers where it's like Hickok, where he's like, this doesn't feel right in my hand, that you'd be like, okay, your opinion actually matters.
Nah,
Like
bro,
there's weight to your opinion, you know.
Paul Harrell is
Mhm.
like the only gun YouTuber you should be watching. That guy is a
King Boomer.
fucking- Yeah, but seriously though, like
He's
he's
know
brought
put
up
him on
so
screen.
much shit to me that I would never think.
what I
And,
like about Harrell. What I like about Harrell is that he's a snapshot of like being good back in the day.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't want to use what he's teaching you now because it's really outdated. Like his skill set is outdated. But it's like,
Well,
you
just,
know, like you
it's
can use
more
a
like-
rifle 60 years old and still hits
Oh,
something,
this
you know?
guy. I know who this
Well,
is.
it's
Oh,
more
yeah.
like his
That bed when
his
he jumps out of the bed
explanation-
with the blanket over him with a shotgun.
Yeah,
That was my introduction to him.
He's
It
cool
was-
as fuck.
It was his explanation on like negligent discharges and stuff like that, the most common types, things and shit like that. I'm trying to find. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to find this, but there was one video where he was talking.
All those thumbnails look the same.
I know, right? This
Just
is an
straight
old
boomer
ass
shit.
video.
Good God. I think our guest is right about him being
No,
stuck
he's
in the
he's
past.
100% a boomer. Like I remember one time he was like, the only thing that's comparable to gun safety is good dental hygiene, because he used to be like a dental hygienist or something. Man, but like, there's this one video, and this is so obscure I may never find this, but he was talking about different types of weapons, like shotgun versus rifle versus handgun, you know, and he's got the shotgun slung, and he does this like rifle flip thing that you don't even notice unless you go back and watch it, but just like how familiar he is with firearms and stuff like that. It's wild to me. I'm
Yeah, he's
saying I
awesome.
wonder if I can... Like
He's a
this
really
this
cool
video,
dude.
how to spot a fake expert, that's such a good video. Such a good video. Just
Do you
the
watch
fundamental
Jerry
stuff like
Milakek?
that.
Michelark.
Yeah.
Michelark, yeah.
Okay.
Well, he pronounces his last name as Michelark. It doesn't look like it's spelled Michelark, but that's how he pronounces his own
I just
last
know
thank
him
you.
as
I always said
just
Michelark.
Jerry.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jerry. You
This
can just say
motherfucker
Jerry.
is someone that I stumbled across like a couple years ago on YouTube, and it was like, I wonder how many people have watched him and got into competition, because me and
Oh.
my friend were watching him, and for like a month we were dumping some real fucking money into ammo, because it was like, he is like, when you see someone that is so insanely good from decades, you know what I mean, that you're just like, I am a piece of shit, like I suck at life, and you're just like why not spend, why not go get a crate and split it with someone and be like, let's put some serious weight down range and really try to somewhat improve it. I won't be him, but I'll be better. You know what I mean?
Yeah, actually, that's kind of how I started to learn to shoot well. Cause like, it's not like I have the luxury of different pistol courses out here in Leafistan, right? So what I would do is I would have Jerry Michelark videos, and I would play them on my phone while I was at the range, and I would just copy what he did, and I would do my best to like do what he's teaching in the lesson. And then I would do that. I did that over the course of like tens of thousands of rounds over a few years, and I dominate like regionals and local competitions. I was gonna do provincials and nationals starting 2020, but you know how that went. And then May they did a rifle ban, so I'm pissed, and I'm gonna leave the country. So
What's the is there any update with that? Are they
oh, it's
'cause
just
you,
there-
you
it's
said
just-
last
it's
time you were
fucked.
going to get like grandfathered in.
they're like this one big anti-gun group that has much more power than it should, because like no one knows who they are, but they have a
Who's it?
lot of influence. It's Polysouvent something. I don't know what Polysouvent is their like handle. I think they're an anti-gun group in Canada, and like they're not really well known, but they have a lot of influence over the Liberal government, and they're like demanding that the Liberals do a confiscation.
Oh,
But
yeah.
liberals didn't really. Well, I mean, it'll probably work out. It's not like anyone's gonna shoot back, so it's like it'll just cost money, right? And then the government doesn't really want to do that because it'll cost so much money. But at the same time, they're still banning the shit, and then they've been like labeling all the pro-gun groups as "quote unquote" extremists, because
Yup.
we're pretty much China here. Like even if you're civil as fuck, which our gun groups are super civil. Like they act, if you say anything about like revolution at all, they'll ban you. Even
They
if you talk about
shoot you.
self-defense with a gun,
What
they'll
is her
ban you.
name? What's her name that bans everyone? She banned me on Twitter because her big thing is that she's pro-gun, but her stance is not for anything other than paper target shooting. But no, it's not Patty Hadju. She's in charge of one of the gun advocate groups.
I feel that
And,
in Leafistan, like our gun groups have to be that way though. You know what I mean? Like you pretty much have to, even if you don't personally believe it, just because like it's very stifling here. There's no freedom of expression here. So.
Oh, and if that bill, what was it, C10, CT10, the bill is passing in like a month, or it's up about
Which one?
the one where it makes it where you can't talk about it's about the Trudeau censorship of the internet.
Oh,
Bill
like
C10.
yeah, C10. Okay, I know what you're talking about. Okay, that's a can of worms, man. I just like the thing with Canada is that like it's America's gay little brother overcompensating, and it's like got a crush on China. So you know,
Yeah, because
Yeah.
remember Trudeau said that he really admires China in their way to pivot during a time of national crisis. Wasn't that the quote?
something like that. Yeah, he
Yeah.
likes their quote unquote basic dictatorship.
Uh-huh.
So like,
And
yeah, we know where his leanings lie, and people here love him. So whatever. Like, Canada's a lost cause. There's
it legitimately is.
It really
legitimately
is. It really is a lost cause. Like,
Well, yeah, and
but you know what?
before
Don't
I'd say that,
yeah.
like, I mean, I'm just, I would,
Uh,
before I would be hesitant to say that until I saw them clearing cars with guns for people getting gas after 8 p.m.
Yeah, Canada's not only a lost cause, but like beware. That's what's gonna come to the U.S. if like the urban vote continues to gain influence. You know, like people, I always hear like I talk to like an urban American, and they're just like, yeah, Canada's cool, and it's like, oh boy,
I
you
have
know.
no idea.
So yeah, so many of them,
we're
fucking
so
many of them want it.
close.
It's
close
coming.
to going there.
It's coming. Like all the entire English, like you know what? It's the English speaking world too. It's not like the West. It's just the English speaking world. Like they're going insane. Like a lot of Western European countries are kind of like debating getting more freedoms. You know, they're like, all right, you know, the people are a little more open socially, and while they're not exactly what we would want in terms of loving freedom, they're a lot more in general open to the idea of leaving people be versus like the urban liberal of the English speaking world that wants to turn society into a totalitarian nightmare. So
This is gonna.
you know, at the very least, like the mentality of just leaving people be is gone in the English speaking world. Like I don't really see that as much anymore. There's not as much live and let live. There's very much like it's like on both sides. Like yeah, people want to control. People want to control each other. It's crazy, man. But of course, it's like the urban mentality is what's winning. Unfortunately, like we can.
Well, it's a numbers game too, right? Like if you have like I live in Georgia, so my state went from Republican to Democrat. We went from conservative to liberal, and it was solely based on. I think it was like 2 counties that flipped in by the state capital, which is a huge, metro area, and mile wise, okay, you have a very small chunk that is liberal, and like 70% of the state that is conservative. And we lost. We're no longer a conservative state because it's a numbers game, because the big city won. And that's, as a society, we are going more socially left. And that is you have big tech, you have colleges, you have this next generation, all of them are being pushed left, and that's what happens.
Yeah, big tech's a big problem. And then, of course, you got like the fact that it's so easy to get into the humanities for post-secondary. We call it post-secondary, but like college and universities. So it's so easy to get into the humanities and to say like, oh, I've got a degree, therefore I'm an authority. You know, it's easy to say that, so you get all these like narcissistic kids from the city that just like qualify to go to university all of a sudden into the humanities, where they learn to parrot the party line. I mean, it's not like STEM and whatnot. I don't want to say it's free from a lot of that shit, but it tends to not have as much of that kind of stuff because it's usually people that are genuinely interested in a subject that you need to be genuinely interested in to succeed in. You know, like I have a friend that's in astrophysics, and he was doing research, like he was working with a research team to get his master's degree. Almost apolitical as a person. Like he was really smart. Yeah, I mean he does astrophysics. Like, you know, that's enough said, right? Yeah, he does
This isn't
astrophysics.
rocket surgery. I mean, over here, but I'm gonna go.
Like he's you know, borderline apolitical. Everyone in his research circle is pretty much apolitical, except when it comes to international relations, because they have a lot of nasty things to say about Chinese researchers and how they'll like outright lie to them or steal their research, just like flagrantly.
That's not surprising, right? That you have with any industry that is not political in nature, right? That you would have them be fairly hands off. Like if you're very, very much, I think medical is a bad example, but you know, like the sciences, right? Or math. There you go, math. That's another one that, you know, is apolitical, right? But you're gonna have within those groups, they're gonna be like, well, except, you know, those guys over there, they love stealing our fucking bullshit, and they never back their shit up with research. They'll make these wild fucking claims, and we all know they're bullshit. Like, it might as well be fucking North Korean fucking propaganda. As crazy as the shit that they say is, we know it's complete bullshit, and they never back it up. Like, there's got to be people in the math group of the world, right, that massively hate on another country or region for that same reason, right?
Well, everyone hates China. That's the general gist of things.
I was
like
trying
the
to think of
research,
another country,
yeah.
but I have nothing to go on besides.
It's literally just the research community hates the Chinese government.
Yeah,
That's pretty much it. That's just how it goes. Like there's so much. There's a lot of dubious stuff that goes around because of that. Or well, I mean I'll even take a few steps back. Like just straight up, like we're in like the preliminary stages of like a war with China. You could even argue that we're in like a weird Cold War with China right now. Like
I think we're in a Cold War because
Yeah,
I think they're pushing very hard, depending on how you viewed certain events in early 2020 as maybe pushed as propaganda. You can't argue that China made a huge financial gain during 2020, regardless of anything else. You can coldly say they made a huge benefit from this.
I mean, money aside, I think that like when I mean like information war. Okay, so like I mentioned research. Like it's so hard to go into like all the like I can't like do the word information war justice with a simple explanation because it goes so fucking far, right? It's more than just money that the Chinese will benefit off of. But like they, you know, if they make money off of whatever they do, that's excellent. But like other things to watch out for is like, okay, socially the United States is chaotic, and the United States is the big power, right? So like let's say the Chinese stick their tendrils in something to exacerbate the social chaos in the US. What does that result in? It results in a population that isn't I guess united by a common goal or even patriotic, for example, while China is pretty much united by a common goal, and their goal right now seems to be to invade Taiwan, right? So, you know, let's say
like no one cares because of our, you know, sowing dissent among us. I mean, like,
yeah, exactly.
You think they give a fuck about BLM? You think they give a fuck about social issues? No, but they would love for us to push that agenda on our own soil. I mean, think back to, you know, Russia in the 70s. Like, this is everything that they wish that they would have seen the U.S., that would have happened to the U.S. during the Cold War, was to have us wildly fighting each other on the verge of a civil war, it feels. They would love to have seen this during the Cold War, you know?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I mean,
Look at,
one could argue that like the social chaos is due in part to subversion that was taking place in the Cold War, arguably. I mean,
Yuri Bezmenov.
yeah, Yuri Bezmenov, exactly.
I've watched more of Yuri in the last 2 years than I have in the last 10.
Because it seems so fucking true. I mean, and it's everything he's ever broke down. You know, like, here's your 5 steps. You know, and you're looking at it, you're like, guys, we're on step 4. Like, do you guys realize this? We're on the like, the only thing that's missing is the last step. Everything Yuri explains is right there. And you're
Pretty
like,
much.
and it started, I mean, it started from back then. And I really don't think that this is Russian influence, but this is influence from another country or area. But influence is influence, right? I mean, it's the same play, it's the same agenda, just it's a different part of the world pushing it, you know? But yes, it does go back to those first steps that they started, you know, just picked up over time. And it just kept, once you start those steps, it's so hard to stop them. And it just snowballs and snowballs and snowballs, you know?
Oh yeah, and there's no recovering, as you mentioned, and there's no explanation to it either. Like, it's such a, like, I guess I always say it like this, like, you know, when people try to think about a problem and try to pin it on one thing, it's like there are so many, like, you're one guy versus like an entire country or entire team set, like, with billions of dollars behind them, right, that are trying to think of many different ways to mess with you, and they will do all of them at the same time. So it's like one person can't possibly like figure out what's going on. As a matter of fact, like, a small team probably isn't enough to figure out what's going on. Like, it's a horrific problem socially.
I mean,
like,
I think if you stay tuned in long enough, you can see all of the things, all the moving parts. You may not be able to say,
you kind of catch it in your peripherals, so to speak.
This thing. I mean, you can look at it and say, like, you know, like, China's doing this, Israel's doing this, you have this influence from, you know, tattered parts of the East, and, you know, different countries influencing and why they would do what they're doing. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's not one group pushing for the fall of the West. It's just part of it's internal. Part of it's we're doing it to ourselves. There's influences from 100 different areas at the same time. But even just within, like, just within the United States, right? Look at what's his name that went on the run after he showed NSA documents?
Snowden.
Yeah, like, I mean, like, if nothing else happened from outside influence, okay, from other countries influencing the United States, just look at the NSA in the United States. That in itself is a huge fucking problem. Now tap in the rest of the world influencing us. And you're like, there's just so much happening at the same time.
Oh yeah,
even if you fix the NSA, you're still gonna have all the social problems we have in, you know, U.S., Canada. I'd just say the West, right? I mean, like, even if you took out social issues and said, you know, as a country we would stand divided, even if you did that to a country, you would still possibly have the eventual downfall from other things at play, you know?
Oh, yeah, there's a great war. It's like a great espionage war going on, right? Espionage, it comes in many forms, and, you know, we're talking about the big one is just social influence. And
or subversion or
memes.
There's nothing you can really do about it. It's
it's the death of 1,000 paper cuts, and it's exactly that.
And actually, there's this, you know, to narrow something down to one thing. Speaking of, like, mass surveillance, information control, it's interesting how private or corporate private, not like individual private, but corporate private interests and government interests have aligned in that, like, sure, the government might be like, okay, like, we're not going to do so much of the government directly spying on citizens, but then all of the, like, the big tech giants that do social media, you know, if you go through their fucking terms and service, like, literally they have it in their terms of service that they can just mainline feed, you know, law enforcement or the government all your information, all your telemetric data, your logins, you know, every little bit about your personality, how you, like, have emotional shifts based on the news, everything. Yeah, go on. Sorry.
Fucking people that do like the 23andMe or whatever. There's a clause in there that says that if the government gets a subpoena, they'll release your DNA information.
Have they done that yet? Or am I thinking of?
Probably. I mean,
when Amazon released the audio, I know that there was a murder case that they used that for evidence, but I really think 23andMe has convicted a murderer.
See, stuff like that's kind of neat in a way. Like, it's like, oh, cool, they got like a bad guy, but at the same time, we all know that, you know, there's a great danger to how that's done, right? Like,
yeah, what happens when the next guy's not like a rapist, but he's just a guy who says, you know, January 6th should have opened some eyes, and you know, that time they didn't bring guns. They might want to listen, or you know, next time they might.
Or even
that sentence alone would get you indicted.
I mean,
if
even
you
worse,
said that on
like,
January 7th with the platform, right?
What if, like, obviously this is an extreme what if, but, like, you know, what if one day, just like suggesting a thing becomes illegal, okay, or even just like contemplating the idea or sympathizing with it, and they say, okay, well, what's the genetic sequence that causes people to be more likely to think this way? Okay, compile that data and find this section of the population that's most likely to think that way and watch them, because we isolated a gene that makes them more likely to do a certain thing. You know what I mean?
We do that. Well, we do that to a degree now with pattern recognition through, you know, social media of keywords, which, I mean, it's okay. So, like, you know, it goes back to, like, you know, in the beginning they banned Alex Jones. You know, some people said, oh, you know, I can kind of understand that, whatever. Now you have Nick Fuentes on a no-fly list, which made a lot of news, right? But the more important thing is, how many other people are on a no-fly list, right? Okay, in Canada, you have Chris Guy, who has done legally nothing wrong. Chris has done nothing wrong besides make a lot of videos calling out the bullshit of, no, I don't have to do quarantine. I can tell you to fuck off and walk right out this airport. And what happened to him? He's on a no-fly list.
Is that the guy that, like, made a career out of that? Like, not wearing masks and stuff?
I mean, yeah, I follow him. I like him, but yeah.
I mean,
I will admit, yes, he juices, and I love my guys that, you know, take steroids, so don't judge me.
I don't think there's anything wrong with roids, but that's a discussion for different day.
There's not. I mean, if you do them properly,
that was done right. No,
there's like more side effects to taking vitamins than properly doing steroids.
Even if there were personal health problems with them, I don't think there's a problem. Like, it's like whatever. They're the only, like, eternal youth drug we have.
So that's another fascinating thing.
Besides,
right?
Pardon? Sorry?
Like nootropics. That's another interesting thing. Like, going back to, like, science. That in itself is a pretty cool ass thing where it's like, you know, was it Limitless? That movie, TV show, whatever it was. Yeah, I mean, like, we're not really that far off of the beginning stages of that.
I've done the nootropic that's supposed to be like the Limitless pill. I forget. It's like ashwagandha or something like that.
Modafinil, maybe.
The one where you got really stoned on
it is modafinil. Yeah. Nope.
Modafinil.
Yeah.
No.
Narcolepsy medication.
The times that I get real fucked up, like on stream, is if I do Phenibut, like before. What up, boy?
What's up? Y'all were talking about the Golden State Killer, by the way. They found him through DNA thing.
There you go.
Thank you.
One of his relatives. Which is fucking crazy.
No kidding.
So yeah.
I'm just gonna fucking. I'm just gonna give up on trying to find this fucking shotgun flip. Literally, I'm gonna like DM him and be like, "Yo, bitch, record a video of you just taking a shotgun on your back up into ready position in one swift motion."
No,
'Cause
Oh.
I'm not trying to
that's
look
so
through like
fucking
a
hard.
year of fucking videos.
Random note to just show how like crazy the Canadian situation has gotten. A bunch of children's books and children's authors got deplatformed like not too long ago because of quote unquote subconscious racism.
Well, yeah, they did it to Dr. Seuss here.
No, not just Dr. Seuss, but like the guy that made Captain Underpants.
Yes, really.
Like he
Yeah.
made like a book
my
that
kid
was
watches that.
Yeah, he made a book that was totally innocent. It was like the main characters of Captain Underpants just being cavemen, and then like that got banned.
Oh wow.
Why?
That's what's funny is
'Cause
like
I'm
the
assuming they
end
were
of the
white,
book is
correct?
more racist.
No, there was one white kid and one black kid, like it's always been with Captain Underpants. There's a gay white kid, then a black kid. Like, that's just
There's
how it's
no
always
other.
been.
Is
Who
he
cares?
actually
But
gay?
that apparently,
Oh, because the black guy acted like an ape, but then everything has to go sideways.
I don't know. Apparently, it was subconscious racism though, and they deplatformed that book and a bunch of others.
Yo, I wonder
sad
if
about it.
Yeah.
but the white kid was a caveman too, right?
Yeah, they were both cavemen. It was
That's
just
so
the entire
fucked.
thing was they were just
Yeah.
cavemen. That was it. They were just cavemen. There was dinosaurs and shit. Like just a normal like caveman book, like a fun thing for kids.
Yeah.
And
that's the
apparently
problem.
subconscious racism. Like what?
Yeah.
Subconscious
Well,
racism. Literally like
so-
we're taking like thought
No.
crime time. Like
No.
No, there was
There's
a
okay,
kid
close
recently
it.
who won Jeopardy, right? He wins Jeopardy the first time, and he sticks his finger up like number 1. Then he wins Jeopardy a second time, and he sticks his fingers up like number 2. And then he wins Jeopardy a third time, and he sticks his fingers
Okay.
up like 3. And guess what? 3 looks like the circle game white power symbol. So like 170 something other dude, that sigh was perfect, bro. 170
Dude,
other like
Don't take it out
fucking
of context.
Jeopardy winners sign a petition, and they say something like, "We won't stand next to something that we won't stand next to hate, and then we won't do something else." But the one that jumped out to me, they go, "We won't stand next to something that appears to be like hate." And I'm like, how the fuck can you even, or it was that looks like hate. And I'm like, that's
Yeah,
so
well,
subjective, and like that it's thought crime, like you were saying, completely ridiculous.
But
Because he
it's not thought.
he held his fingers up
Like-
in like
Is
for
it
the
not?
number 3.
why isn't
No,
it a
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why it's not thought crime.
Sure.
It's because the implication of thought crime is that person is thinking about doing something wrong. They're literally judging an action. What they're looking at is they're trying to find the intention behind it, but it's just a crusade. It's a witch hunt. It's
For sure.
nuking everything of context, so it can't be thought crime. It's because they're ascribing intention to it. The only crime there is that these people are looking for these fucking symbols that hard that that's all they see when they see these sorts of things. And like, it's one of those really, really funny things where it's like, oh shit, okay, so you're gonna read into that far, and I hate to do the whole like you were the real racist meme, but like when like
Oh,
we were
fine.
talking to Vito about that fucking new Marvel fucking show they could not nail the plot at all of figuring out how to make it acceptable for a black Captain America to exist. They didn't give a shit. They never said the line, yeah, he's Captain America. They always had to qualify it with, oh yeah, they tried to reframe the what's his name? The Steve Rogers giving the shield to Sam, who's the Falcon. They tried to show that as like an oppressive thing that he did, where he put the burden of America on this black man. And it's like, okay, this is a weird way to start this thing out. But then they bungled the fucking ending because they couldn't even, like, they made it a point to even say halfway through that, like, oh shit, yeah, are you Black Falcon? And he's like, nah, I mean, well, are you Black Kid? And it's like, okay, yeah, no, you are Kid, I am Falcon. See the difference? Like, look, there you go. But they never pinned the series off by saying, I'm Captain America, just Captain America. They say, a black man's Captain America.
Oh, yeah, so
black
obvious.
Captain America. And it's like, oh my god, stop putting black in front of Captain America. His thing that he's defined by, the actual, like, when you look at the show, what it's about is about being worthy of being the symbol of America, not the symbol of the American government, because that's not what Captain America is about, and not being like the symbol of like oppression, about American idealism. And that is the title that you were given, and that is the honor that was bestowed on you, and you still can't fucking figure it out. It's insane. And like that's where you see these people get it wrong. That's where you see 1984, where there's like the thing where they just like raped that one dude and they have no problem with it, and they try and excuse it, and they don't see it as rape. But if it was any other context, if you flipped any of that shit around, they'd say, oh my god, look, they raped that. And it's because you have to do mental gymnastics to get there in the first place. You have to be looking for it like that. And then because they don't think like that, they're like, holy fuck, like, this is terrible. But then they'll never own it. They'll never own the fact that they've like raped that guy. Wonder Woman raped a man in that fucking movie, and they don't get it. They don't understand why it's rape. So it's a double standard, and it's not thought crime, because it's just, they're not thinking. They're just looking for bullshit, and they nuke all context of whatever it is. Like, that's why they had to say, yeah, the first and the second, that means nothing. This was just a white power thing. Like, I bet you that guy was like Hispanic or something. Like, they're like, oh,
Oh, I
he's
know.
white
That's
now.
yeah, they
And it's
Zimmermaned
like,
him.
Jesus Christ.
Well, look at that. Well, like I remember when BLM was getting power, and I was really thinking it was about division, right? That like I know
Not
like how it
until
started,
2020,
social progress, all
though.
this thing.
Like, it was so
Yeah, well, I'm saying, like, when
neutral,
it got
seemed like, until it
household
was,
name.
Yeah, politicized. Because
Yeah.
back in the day,
But I was like, this is about just straight division. This is exactly what it was, and then it got so much worse. And then I was like, fuck, I wanted it just to be division. Like, straight up old school KKK. Like, I want to be on my side of the town. You're gonna be on the other. If that's what you want, let's just stop it here. But no, that's not enough. It's if there's any time, I mean, look at Kobe. If there is a black on black crime, how dare you interfere? How fucking dare you not let that black woman stab the other black woman? Fuck you for interfering, you goddamn white piece of shit.
We've
And you're like, this is insane.
well, and it's like, so they were cucked
God damn
before,
it.
but like as soon as they really didn't have a lot of the like communism aspect until
Well, that's
they
Antifa.
started getting popular. Right. I mean,
Well,
like
I
it's
mean, look at their
Antifa
founder.
fucking, dude, they got co-opted, man. And like
that's
the
what I
thing is
mean.
where,
Is
like, I look
it
at
used
that.
whole.
Right.
Do you remember how their website said one of their main goals was to destroy the family unit or something like that? That wasn't in any it wasn't in any
Yeah, because
of
it was
their
started by those two
pamphlets.
dykes, right?
It wasn't in anything until September
You said
2019.
cut wrong.
There's-
2000. Okay, I'm sorry, my bad. Flashback, sorry.
No.
Wrong September.
Yeah.
The fucking dog with like the air
Exactly,
sign and
exactly,
Vietnam shit.
yes.
Yeah, dude.
Okay, thank you.
I love it.
Fucking meme lord over here. That's some
I
old shit.
fucking love that. Dude, you always have the proper meme response. I'm like, oh, I know that one. Feels a good man.
Oh,
Okay, so speaking of memes, what's your guys' take on
all right,
Instagram
fucking
taking out a
Paul
bunch of military meme pages? You guys been following this?
Did they ban them?
What?
A
What
bunch.
happened?
Like the biggest one had a million followers. There was 5 accounts. The smallest was like 180,000 followers, and all of them were banned within like 24 or 48 hours total. And some of these guys were like huge fucking pages, and I mean it was all enlisted men, right? That were following it. It was just like Air Force guys making fun of Air Force bullshit, Navy, Army, okay, whatever. And then Instagram's not giving a statement as to what. They're only saying we banned you because you violated terms, and not saying why. So then the question is, well, when you take out one account, whatever, but why are you taking out like 20 accounts that are military meme accounts for people in active duty?
To demoralize people. to like say that this is wrong and exemplify that it's wrong, to like salt the wound of like, hey, yeah, we voted to not let Donald Trump back on. Bitch, you didn't vote for shit. It was already pre-decided you were never gonna let that fucking person back in. Like, it's when you look at these things, it'll blow your fucking mind. I mean, maybe it won't blow your mind, but it's somehow still astounding to me when you look at these things and you just see how blatant it is and how much they just absolutely have to tear you away from any support structure. And then they're like, okay, well, what's left? This disgusting mob of people that can't get fuck all right. And then like the institutions that they have to attack are insane. Like, one of the things that we really need to do right now in America is we really need to prop up like just like all of these minorities, and we need to do everything for women, and we need to look at pro-diversity, and we need to just absolutely push that to the moon. But fuck the vets. Like, what do you
Oh
fucking
yeah, they don't
mean?
give zero fucks about us.
What do you fucking mean? If you want to look at problems in America, I'm down to look at diversity. I'm down to look at like how people are getting discriminated against. But how the fuck do you not understand that what it is to be American? It's like when these people enlist and they serve, and then you fucking spit on them afterwards. Despicable. Like, how
So-
fucking dare you?
I'm gonna go on a diatribe here for a moment. Do you guys know like the top 5 reasons for homelessness?
I don't.
I can
Well,
guess
I can
what's in the
guess.
top 30. It's going to be being enlisted at one point.
Well,
Yeah.
so that I mean,
Prior
I would
service,
like. I
drugs.
haven't ever seen a list that takes that into account, but that's probably a lot of it. But the first one's inability to find affordable housing. The second one is inability to find a job. The third one is, fuck, I can't remember. The fourth one is
Ability
mental
to not
illness.
drop N-bombs.
Yeah, and then the fifth.
It's coming.
The fifth one
Give it a
is
decade.
the fifth one's drug addiction, which you could lump in with mental illness. Fuck, I can't remember what the third one is. That's gonna irritate me. But anyways, do you know that in New York they spent something like $200 million, and in Los Angeles they spent $840 million to combat homelessness, and it has done absolutely nothing. Like the homelessness
Yeah,
rates are
because
still
that
the
was based
same.
on the Colorado model, because they were dumping money because they were trying to build houses. And when they budgeted it originally, it was based off the Colorado model, which is a lot cheaper for houses. So I know California specifically, when they did this, they were thinking that they could build a house for like 4 people for like 200,000. It is costing them close
Yeah,
to
right.
800,000 with, well, like 5-10 years ago, right?
Well, do you?
So, but it's
well, and the
costing them almost
reason
800,000 for the same amount of people because of government red tape, permits, etc.
Yeah,
'cause they're
it's
in
not- it's
Colorado, they
not-
just let you build wherever.
it
more or
doesn't
less.
cost them that much to build that, because that's how much real estate and building materials and shit costs. It costs that much because people are stealing all of this money. Like,
Yeah.
so
Oh, yeah,
there's
yeah.
there's about 60,000 homeless people in Los Angeles, depending on what you consider Los Angeles, because some cities are part of it, some are not. And so let me pull this up. So
Yeah, nobody gives a
60,000.
shit about a lot of these projects. They just give a shit about getting their contracts renewed. They
Well,
just
yeah, and
care
then that
about,
goes into
oh
the
yeah, well,
homelessness
eventually
thing
we'll find a cure for it.
with
Eventually we'll
veterans.
make it so we don't have to like make them on a subscription pill. Eventually we'll find something that replaces like carbon emissions. Like, Jesus, like imagine just
That's the
not
next thing.
understanding. Like, yeah, it's endless. It's what is it called? It's unfalsifiable things. Anything you can find where it's like, oh yeah, we have a homeless epidemic. Where is it coming from? Oh, we don't know. Let's do research on it. It's like when you find anything that just like naturally occurs and you try and like pinpoint it, they're never gonna be able to do it. And that's the
Well,
point.
look at our lockdowns and how they, in the last 4 months, it has been going from lockdowns for health concerns to now it is going into a green epidemic of, saving the planet. Some would say overpopulation, but I mean, like, look at how this has shifted since the last, I'd say, 3 months of, guys, we got to do some radical things to change carbon, to do green energy. And you're like, where are you going with this? And they're like, yeah, let's, double and triple tax meat. Biden was talking, a cheeseburger per month bullshit. And like,
this wasn't talked about last year. And you can make the argument, well, they would have done it during COVID, but then they weren't talking this in 2018 either. You know, you had Al Gore and his bullshit, but it was never pushed super heavy. And then what's happened this month? They had a huge get together, and now all these countries are talking about this huge, you know, plans for saving the planet.
No,
and
it's been
the
going
next
on. It's been
huge
going on for a
crisis
long
right
time.
around the corner.
Because of the whole Paris.
Yeah,
Climate
I'm saying,
Accord
but
and
you
shit.
think, but you're gonna say it's not intensified? I think it's intensified over the last
They're-
few months.
They're trying to weave the narratives together. That's the thing, though. Is like when you see this progression.
Maybe it
perpetual
appears that way
progression.
because Biden is in office, and so it's like, you know, he's obviously gonna do the cuck thing. So, anyways, if they just gave all of the money that was supposed to be for homeless people to homeless people, it would be $14,000 to each individual, and
Per year.
they get nothing. And
Oh
then
yeah,
they're
wasn't it
not-
like
that-
cents?
that's like as much as. Well, I don't think they get anything, to be honest. I think people steal
Well,
all
social
the money.
benefits. It's social. Well, I'm saying it's if you look at social benefits given out to the homeless divided by how many homeless, you're gonna have some money, even if you just say like housing, and that's with saying, you
I
know,
wonder
if you
what the
live in a
shelters,
homeless
because I
shelter
bet a
for the
lot of
night.
those. I bet a lot of those shelters aren't even government funded. To be honest, you know, it's usually like someone else's humanitarian effort.
In Atlanta, there's
that was
literally
like
not a
last
single
year.
government ran one.
This year they're going up into the billions because it's 840 million. So now they're doing like a 1.3 billion dollar government bond or some shit like that. Yeah, but
And they
people are
give
just
no
stealing
mental
it.
health for, you know, the fucking vets. There's zero fucks given. I mean, like, when I was in high school, it was go to the military and you get out and you have a career. And,
Yeah.
you know, I had friends that bought that lie. And, you know, I feel bad.
Yeah, it's so funny that they said, "Oh, Trump's so anti-military, he calls them losers and da 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 da." But when he's like the only fucking person that's done anything to help extend coverage for people in the Veterans Affairs, the VA or whatever, like under him, they made it so that they could choose their own doctor, like all kinds of
Dude,
stuff.
his approval rating was like 70% among the forces.
Yeah, but they don't give
Oh,
a shit
for
about
sure.
that. And it's probably all going to go
Yeah.
away now that Biden's there. All right, less depressing
can't-
politics, more shooty
Wait,
shooty
wait.
rootin' tooty.
You can't. Wait, you can't. Well, just last thing.
Yeah.
You can't solve the problem because then you can't have these people working anymore. They'd actually have to solve a problem. They have to find a problem and then they just have to keep that motherfucker inflated for the next forever. They got to give you that dose and they got to keep giving you doses. There's never the actual cure for it because then they would lose their fucking funding. And then what do? They
That's
have
true.
to make it
What do
a
you-
perpetual problem and find a goblin under everything. Like, this is the fucking goblin. There he is again. And then he always runs off and like, oh no, he. got
Oh
away."
shit! Who was
Do you know what would
Who's that
happen
fucking
if
guy
all
from
the
New
homeless
York?
started working?
Who's that politician from New York? Giuliani? I think that Giuliani.
Yeah,
The one who
Well-
helped in 9/11? Yeah, that's him.
Man.
So there's some mental health. All right, maybe I can do it this way.
Just Google Hunter Biden mental health
Penis.
weapons permit felony application. That should show up.
Huh.
Something
Okay, it was
about
De
not being a
Blasio.
felon
It
or
was
not.
De Blasio's
Oh, yeah.
wife. So $30 million. No, no. Not even that, bro. Maybe this is the number that I was thinking of earlier. So Bill de Blasio's wife can't account for staggering amount of taxpayer money that the New York mayor gave her for mental health project. $850 million. And she's like, oh, I
Yeah.
don't know what happened to it. It's just missing.
Yeah, that was like last month, wasn't it? Well, I read it last month.
It
But
was
it's
just
been
in
recent, yes?
2019. So
Oh.
2 years ago. But well,
Jesus,
nothing
I don't know
ever
what the
came
fuck
of
else
it.
trending.
They're just gonna
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I
I was
guess,
like, as far as I
wait.
know, she never gave an answer. That's
Yeah,
what I'm
I guess
getting
they're
at.
just gonna
'cause-
wait until he's
Never
out of
find
office or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, credit where it's due, or not credit where it's due, but
Fuck,
shave
man.
where it's deserved. It's like Trump's taxes. It's like, when are you gonna release this? Look, in a little bit, okay? It's like, look, I'll tell you where the 800 million is if you
I
Yeah.
don't know. In a couple years, I'll
1%
release
of
the
that-
statement whenever they fucking release it.
1% of that is $8.5 million. Shut the fuck up.
Well,
phone.
and
Oh,
that's
it's
the
Blood
thing,
Sports tonight, guys.
Ah, shit.
All right.
What was it?
It's Blood Sports.
Who is it?
Syrian girl and that Jewish dude.
I was gonna say, is it a Jew and or a woman? So
Judas.
Awesome.
Yeah, both.
fucking sweet.
Uh,
Hey, honey, you wanna watch a Jew murder?
hey, easy.
Wow, hello.
Fucking assholes just
Right
want
there.
me deplatformed. All right, Fed, you can watch this thing that I'm streaming if you want. It's all
shit.
gun related. So pick one. 1911 and SVT-40 versus FN-49 and Luger.
Oh, that's
I've-
easy. Top one.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Cage. I default to Cages.
Why do you want a detachable magazine? What are you, some kind of racist?
Oh my.
Well-
Why would you not want a detachable magazine?
In regards to pistols, the Luger sucks. It is a.
Boom!
It looks cool, but it sucks.
So fucking weird.
It's mechanically bad.
It's like somebody tried to make a claw machine into a firearm.
Yeah.
I
Like,
wanted
I'm
to
just
start
gonna grab
screaming
this
shots
little bullet
fired,
and
but
put it into
Don't
the
want to be
chamber.
that much of a dad joke.
No. The FN-49 isn't bad or anything, but the SVT-40 is also not bad or anything.
Yeah,
You
they're
know what I
very
mean?
similar.
Yeah, they're fine. I mean, the FN-45 is probably better. I mean, it's more wieldy, but you know, the SVT-40 holds its own, and like you'd be with those rifles, you'd be engaging at about the same distances anyway. It's not like the FN-49 is like an intermediate cartridge. Like the SVT-40 and it are using like a high-powered cartridge.
Right. Yeah.
So
Some trench
like-
warfare shit.
yeah, so it's basically just a battle of pistols at this point.
Right.
So the Luger loses.
Look at this shit. God.
Yucky.
It's a fucking just like a shotgun stock on there. All right, the Carcano and the MP5 versus the Arisaka and the grease gun. I don't even know what the fucking Arisaka is.
Japanese?
Definitely the Carcano and MP5 for me though. Like the grease gun's cool and shit, but like,
I think you want the Carcano because we all know it's kind of got some history behind it.
Oh yeah. No. Yeah, actually. I don't know. They're picking like
Yeah.
two extremely similar like rifles, two extremely similar long guns, and two like almost. Well, I guess the MP5 and the grease gun are similar.
They are.
It could be a dildo and an MP5 versus almost anything, and I'm picking the MP5.
I would pick the Carcano and MP5 for sure on this one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
The MP5 is a pretty. I mean, they're like different eras. Like the MP5 is like the future.
74.
In that case.
My God.
This is, yeah, shock.
Do you follow any of those like Bubba accounts on Instagram for guns?
These two sometimes post pictures of it. Hold on a second.
Oh, I like that, like Brandon Herrera, the AK-50 guy. Like some of those accounts that he gets his stuff from, I've been following those. Just like like you see like the Mosin nunchucks and just like the crazy Bubba shit.
Yo, what the fuck is this? Did they make a Saiga that shoots 7.62 by 39? Oh my god, this fucking thing. My do not disturb switch is broken.
Dude, once I realized that, sleeping with that fucker turned on, that was magical. Because there's a few nights that, like, I would be almost asleep, and you would hear Discord blowing the fuck up on someone's channel. And it would sound like my phone is getting a phone call. Whereas it was like, underneath the pillow. And you're like, who the fuck is calling me? And you see, like, 39 notifications from Discord in the last 1 minute. And you're like, Jesus.
Oh, dude, I don't.
Yeah,
I don't
so this-
fucking keep
I didn't even
things
know
on
Saiga.
Discord.
I figured this was a 12 gauge.
This is what I know Saiga as normally.
But yeah, it's like it's not 7.62 by. It's the weirder 7.62, I think.
7.62 about 45.
No, I don't know. I don't know so much about.
Look, if it's not 6.5 Grendel, I mean, my dick doesn't twitch,
Yeah,
okay?
fuck it. SKS and Uzi or M1 Grand and Mac 10. Fuck, that's a hard one, bro. Cause the M1 Grand's
Magic?
I would go with the M1 Garand and the Mac 10
right.
in this case.
Yeah,
'Cause
well,
you got a high powered cartridge, semi-auto, and then like the Mac 10 and the Uzi fulfill a similar purpose, but the Mac 10's smaller.
yeah. The Mac 10. That's what they call the phone booth gun, right?
Yeah, they're tiny little guys, which is nice. I mean, they're both PDWs, right? The Uzi and the Mac 10, but the Mac 10's smaller, so
Oh shit.
it gets points in my book. But I like that the Garand, you could reach out and touch someone from like 800 meters away. Yeah, SKS you couldn't do that. I mean,
Show you the
if you're
good
lucky.
word.
300 yards.
All right, I don't even
Let me
know.
tell you about Jesus from behind this hill.
Somebody, I think
Yeah, exactly.
it was. I think it was the Mac 10, but yeah, no, it was the Mac 10. They call it the phone booth gun because it's like you can only hit somebody if you're in a phone booth with them.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's just like open bolt, high rate of fire. Like, it's a personal defense weapon, right? Just if someone's close enough to where you'd want to use it, you just use it. You know what I
Dude,
mean?
I want that as a Japanese game show now, where it's like a paintball version of the Mac 10, and it's two guys stuck in a phone booth with each other, just trying to. Whoever gets more shots in.
All right,
Let's
go.
Dude, if you find this clip, I will pay money for you to send me a YouTube link of this. Like, do you know how fucking hilarious that would be if you were like drunk Saturday night, fixing to go to bed, and you just see a clip, and it's like 90s Japanese era, you know what I mean? Just like static VHS, and you just see two guys lighting each other the fuck up with paintballs and pellet guns, and you're like, holy
Yeah.
shit, this is amazing.
Fucking hard cuts to
Cage,
two dudes in
Can you
kimonos
tell
with
me what the
fans.
fuck's going on here? I can't even.
No, I am unsure what's happening.
Wait,
Is that
what?
There's like a
I'm
super
guessing-
long barreled AK, but it's got no, like the gas.
I'm guessing
the
the one
gas
on the
tube
bottom
in
is
the
like-
wrong place.
I think the one on the bottom might be like a really fucky. I can't even tell.
It almost, I
don't
almost
know.
want to say it's a revolver in there or something, but then
I don't know about that.
The
It might
buffer
be.
dude?
Is it like a little like mini 14, the one on the bottom? I
Maybe
can't
it
really
is.
see the action. It looks kind of like a mini 14 action. But
there's
I'm not
some weird
certain.
ass grip. The fucking
It's hard to see on the
sight-
stream, but
The
Yeah,
sight.
yeah,
is-
that better
oh,
be a
never
laser sight. I don't know what the fuck you're doing if not.
No, that's just fucked.
I want
like
to know what's up
somebody-
with the top.
That's what I'm saying.
what on the
Wait.
bottom? On the bottom one, that there's a little
Yeah.
It says-
PBO, I think.
It says IMP pistol 30 carbine.
Oh, I have no idea.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe. Oh no, did they bubble an M1 carbine?
Probably.
No.
Yeah, yeah. One, look at the
No.
tags, and then two, look what
Because
fucking
it's got the
Max
buffer
Miller
tube
put.
in stock, the M4 style.
Oh.
I don't even know what's going on.
I
in
can't
that.
even tell.
Scooter ankle.
Scooter ankle.
That's hard. These are
Commit
all like.
Lego step.
Why would anyone do? Well, you know what? Actually, that probably is an M1 carbine on the bottom.
And
It
they
probably
put, like,
is
the
just a
M4
fucking-
style,
Makes me
like
sad.
furniture
Yeah.
all over it.
I think it might just be a butchered M1 carbine.
Let's see.
So what was the I really do feel sad for that gun, but what's the cheapest that they were historically? Like, could you get them for
Oh.
like $300-400? Like in today's money, like how much were they? Like
Well,
in the
there is-
70s?
There was like a weird time where people didn't want the full military stock. They actually did want sporterized guns because they were more practical for most people's uses. Once upon a time, so like
It is
for example,
an M1
right-
carbine, by the way.
yeah,
Well, according
I
to
figured as
Redbeard
much.
54R. Good eye, bro. I couldn't even tell.
it was just because of the action. That's why I guessed. But
Those
the,
comments are awesome.
there was a time when like, okay, so if you were to buy like a Lee Enfield number 4 Mark 1, like a full battle dress rifle will be worth like 8 times a sporterized Enfield, right? But back
Sure.
in the
Right.
day, it was like a sporterized Enfield. They would have charged you more for the extra labor involved in butchering the original battle dress.
Yeah.
God, this is sad.
Yeah, so like
Oh,
I don't
here's
know. Back
another-
in the day, an M1 carbine may have actually been cheap because it was a former military rifle, and people were probably like, "Oh, these are shit."
Well, yeah, I mean, you could make the argument for those where it's like, look, quality control. They really, some of them things were like really slapped together, and well, it's like, was it Remington that made AKs, or was that weird ass contract
I'd
that
fucking
Remington
get a
had?
Remington AK. So
Oh,
there's
fuck,
so
this is
this
driving
is
me crazy.
this
I know
is that-
Savage made Lee Enfields.
the Egyptian gun Hakim or whatever, and it's got like an I forget what stock this is, but they make it for like 1022s. It's like a Magpul style
Mm-hmm.
stock, and then
It's like target shooting, right?
SVT 15.
Like bench
Look
roast.
at this little bit of fucking it's either wood or that plastic shit that they make.
Caracote.
Yeah, well, not Cerakote like the coating,
Oh.
but it sounds like that. They made AK furniture out of them.
Oh.
Fuck, what is that called? It's not
I'm gonna Google
Teflon. It's
this.
kind of like that.
No, because it's
Teflon?
no, it's a hard plastic because the guys always put the banana
Sounds
sticker
like
from Chiquita Bananas on
Krylon
the
or
AK
something
mags.
like that.
Oh,
This
Does
is
the gun guy not know this? What's the
KG. What's that?
the hard plastic
Let's
AK
see.
furniture? The mags when it's like a medium brown. It's hard plastic.
Okay, so you got an SVT-40 at the top.
Oh
obviously.
no, just plastic shit on an AK in general. What did they call that? I forget.
The bags or the
Okay.
furniture. No, like what's the name of that coating? It was like medium brown with a soft yellow tint.
I don't know. Wait,
Fuck.
bro, what? Wait, what? Sorry, what are we pointing out? The
Just
No, not on this gun. On
Yeah,
AKs
on
in general.
any, like,
the
AK.
furniture had a name for like those this medium brown hard plastic that they use for the furniture and some of the
Oh!
mags.
a Bakelite, I think.
Bakelite.
There you go.
That's it.
There you
yeah. Okay, fucking yeah. We were our
Thank you.
brains were fucking smoking.
Yeah, sorry
my
about
God.
that. I was.
So
it was
this-
taking me a second to like, wrap my head
This
around
is
that.
either a really small piece of Bakelite or wood right here, but then the rest is all like M4 shit, M4 fore end, muzzle brake.
Oh no, that's yeah. Some of the SVT bolts just have weird coatings because of the Arsenal refurbishing process.
Oh,
So like that's probably just I'm pretty sure that's just an SVT bolt. Like that's just a factory SVT bolt. These are all like horrifically butchered
Yeah.
firearms. Like
dude,
don't
I
do
would
this to your
love,
guns.
I would love an SVT or like a fucking weird Egyptian 8mm gun, and
Public
these people
Service Cage says
fucked them
no.
up.
well, it's like I mean you're butchering a piece of military history, right? It's like going to a museum and like
100%.
yeah.
Okay,
you're go-
I've had a Mosin with a welded and bent bolt, okay? That was a literal bolt that we welded on there to do the fucking PU conversion like rednecks.
Bro,
Like, in 20 years, someone's gonna be like, wait, you drilled and welded a fucking Mosin? And you're like, yeah, I did the same fucking drilling and shit on the fucking SKS too.
dude, look at this
Oh,
shit.
yeah, it's like
they just put fucking rails all over it.
for
from
sure
the
it's like
side, the
folly in the
bottom, and the
moment,
front.
but like at this point it's like all right, we know these are gonna go, so it's a good idea to
Okay, well,
keep
yeah.
it's a good like
No,
but
that's
back in the
fair.
day back in the day it was like they're everywhere. Like we didn't think they disappeared because there was literally like there are like more
Crates
Mosins
and
than there are
crates in
people
front
on
of the gun
Earth.
shop.
Like
Look at this.
Yeah.
Is this an M1 or is this an SKS?
that's an SKS. 100% that's an SKS. You can tell by the bolt.
Yeah, look at the
the
bolt.
Look
You
at
can put
this
yours on a minute.
fucking like weird fore end they have right here.
What the fuck is that?
I don't know, dude.
That's
but-
cursed.
and
That's
then,
what that is.
Yeah, and then the fucking
Holy
SKS on
shit.
top. they just like screwed rails all over it.
You know,
Okay,
I will
so-
say that if that SKS actually has no problem cycling, and then you
Well, but
put
that's
it
the thing.
and you
Look, it's
gave
got
it to
like
like
a
some
fucking weird AK gas tube on it or something.
that's a normal
That's a
SKS
normal
gas
one,
tube.
okay.
Yeah, that's
Wow,
just
though.
an SKS gas tube. But like if you're to like if that actually worked and you gave it to like a member of the YPG and they shot a few ISIS members with it, I would buy it at a premium. Like I'd be like,
Sure.
yep,
So
that's
go back
now.
to that picture. Go
You
back
know
to
what
that
I
picture
mean.
flow. On the top picture, look above the hand grip. You see that dust shield that's on the top of the SKS where the bolt goes back?
Oh
Above
yeah.
the actual hand grip, right? So they make kits where you literally drill and tap a scope into the dust shield,
Oh
and you can put a
no.
red dot right the fuck there, and
Oh,
cheaper than
no.
dirt sells them. And there was a guy that
Yeah,
traded
no.
one in at my gun shop, and we walked in and we were like, did he mount a fucking $100 red dot on a dust shield that moves every time the bolt cycles? And they were like, yeah. Do you want to take it out back and shoot it? And we were like, fuck yes. And it is exactly as bad as you think it is, times
Super
3.
accurate, yeah.
Nice.
Because there's no zero. The dust shield literally wobbles even when you file it perfect. It's because I mean, even with that little rubber insert for the where the spring hits it, they make those little like rubber things for so
Here's
the
the
recoil's not as bad.
Oh,
It
no.
still slams into the fucking shield every time you pull the trigger.
Bruh.
You know,
Top all day, top all day. I would get all the respect in fucking Ireland.
I'm telling you, bro. Look, it's got 2 triggers. Oh my god.
I wouldn't be caught dead with either one of them.
Bro,
Oh holy
I'm,
fuck!
I,
I just
friends
realized
would
that's
make
not a
fun of me.
rifle.
I'm like
No,
praying
they're
to
both
God
shotguns.
that these
Dude,
he
Jesus.
just put these shotgun shells here for decoration, that he doesn't actually like store extra shells. Like block this whole
Well, they double
fucking
its
thing
sights
doesn't
slow.
make any sense.
Obviously, they use you use the shells as sight. Okay.
Yeah,
How
apparently.
hard is it? It's a shotgun. You don't have
the
to aim it.
fucking
I've seen movies.
M16 carry handle sight is blocked by additional shotgun shells. Not to mention, it's like 2 inches. This is a flashlight.
Wait,
He put
I was
the
gonna say,
sight
it's mounted to a
2 inches
flashlight.
taller than it
Yeah,
needed
yeah.
to be for a fucking flashlight.
Flo, look at the front of that guy. Those are 2 D cells, or those are batteries for your. Those are double A's for
I
your
think
fucking
those are
flashlight.
batteries, like
Yeah,
Yeah,
surefire
they're
batteries.
batteries for your flashlight. This is just a bandolier. I don't know what you're talking about. It holds ammo for your actual gun.
Yeah,
You just
I don't-
strap this across your chest.
Alright, like first off, like I'm guessing that these are put together as like a joke. But second
think-
off, if you
You hope.
put a Punisher skull or a Molen Labe
God, yeah.
on your firearm, just shoot yourself.
Well,
Just
honestly, if
honestly, like
you, yeah, if you shoot
friendly
somebody
fire,
with
your
that-
face.
Stop it.
If you,
Stop
yeah,
it.
Now, okay, what is your
Your
opinion
Honor
of
and the
a
court
charging handle on an
pros.
AR with logos or words? And or what is your opinion of like smile you're next on the flash hider or the door breaker on
I mean, if you're a
So-
cop,
weapons.
then like that's retarded. but
well,
like
if you're a person, that's
No, no,
retarded
that's-
because whatever you, unless something you put on there is like extremely neutral.
yeah, that's
If
true.
you shoot
I mean-
somebody with that gun, they're gonna bring it up in court. They're gonna be like, "Look,
Yeah,
this
you're right, you're
person
right.
obviously like the MP5 that had the
Mm,
bolt that said
mm.
"Hit
That's
me
hate
harder,
screams.
daddy" on it."
fair
Okay,
fair
look.
enough. Like okay, so
Don't
like
talk to
legal
me
stuff
about
aside,
memes and shooting. You've all
legal
seen the
stuff
banned
aside.
video.
legal stuff aside, we're talking purely aesthetics and like
Oh,
taste.
yeah.
Like
Uh.
I think that some things are okay, but Molen Labe or Punisher Skull is like, you know, you should report to your nearest sterilization clinic.
For sure. Well, it's like spend the
There was
money.
a couple.
I guess this is a pretty cheap one, you know, but if it's like engraved and professionally
COVID
done and all that
shots.
shit, just spend the money on ammo and train more. Like you're being a fucking
Or I
fuck.
mean, just
Yeah,
like
but-
just like put the money in like your bank account and don't spend it at that point. Like it's just
We're talking personality types that
Yeah.
do not listen to advice. Okay, these guys don't listen. What I was getting at was, there was a couple years ago, there was a gun with a lot of memes written all over it. If you guys remember a certain shooting video that
Oh, yeah,
may
yeah.
be banned in Canada that we all
Subscribe
fucking
to
saw about 30
PewDiePie.
fucking times, I really thought that they were gonna ban customized guns for about a week afterwards. I'm like, guys, they're not gonna let us put stickers on shit no more. This guy fucked it up for all of us.
Yeah,
Nah, dude,
I
You gotta get
yeah.
Apple stickers and just put them on your fucking rifle, and then you know what to do.
All right, let's play Name That Movie. I think this is
Oh boy.
Saving Private Ryan, but I'm not sure.
Oh.
I don't even
That's
know.
not
if we're
fair. I
gonna-
don't know celebrities, and I know that
Is it-
Chase, but I don't
is
know
it
his
like-
name.
that Hacksaw Ridge movie.
Oh, maybe it's that.
Is it?
I go for Hacksaw because I
don't
don't remember
know if
him in
they're
Saving
gonna-
Private Ryan.
Yeah, I don't remember him. Saving Private Ryan I've seen many times, so
Is this Jarhead?
that one might be Jarhead.
Yeah.
I think that's Jarhead.
Yeah, it's not Footlocker.
Fuck. This is some Vietnam movie.
I don't
Is that
know,
Arnold
dude.
Schwarzenegger? Do I
No.
see? Do I see Arnie?
It's some
Oh,
kind
never mind.
of. Never mind.
Chill out.
Holy shit. Is this that
Oh my
22?
Yeah,
Go-
Calico.
Terminator-
That's the Calico. Look at that fucking thing.
that's only been in so many movies.
That's probably like,
RoboCop.
Does that shoot bottle rockets in? Like, what
shoots-
is
No,
that?
it's 9mm.
I thought it was
If you
22.
shake it,
It's a
if you
wind-up
shake the
magazine.
gun, it spits bullets at you without them being fired. It'll just drop the bullets unshot out the bottom. Ask Demolition Ranch. He literally had a 50-round magazine eject ammo at the fucking table after the second
Bruh,
shot.
look at this magazine, dog.
Oh my god.
Look at that shit. That's like 50 rounds. No,
That
like
is a-
25
that's a true
rounds.
magazine. It's a whole
God.
time life. It'd take you the entire shit to get through with that.
Nice
Oh,
little
yeah.
That's what's
N60
the
action.
That's how I wield
Idiocracy,
my
I know
gun.
that one. That's President Camacho.
I
Oh
like
god,
it.
we're right around the that's right around the corner, isn't it, boys?
Generation
This is
Yeah.
coming.
This scene rules because right before this he gets introduced by a chorus of electric guitars playing the same shit. And it's so funny because it's
Is
the
this
same
from,
thing. Nobody is doing
Idiocracy. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been a
It's
minute.
great. They just have like 50 dudes with guitars. And it's just like, yes.
Amazing.
Amazing.
Okay, yeah. So honestly,
love it.
if I had to pick one of these, I would go with the double barrel because it looks like the over under is at least like somebody made it as a joke for sure, but they did it well. Like this is a this foregrip
I
was
think it
custom
works.
and shit. This they literally
But the battery-
tacked on a bunch of
Batteries
bullshit.
included. Batteries included, man.
Oh yeah, I mean he does have a point. The bottom one does have batteries.
Well, and then
Do you
The
remember that
scope.
movie?
I love the
Batteries
scope.
Included. Do you remember that movie about the drone? From like it was a
No.
'90s movie called Batteries Included.
I don't. That sounds
No,
funny as
dude.
Oh,
fuck.
hold up. Yeah, it was
Dude,
like what a drone was back in the the '90s. What we thought they would be.
is this a
Um,
Mauser
hang
up
on.
here?
Now I'm thinking like it's like battery as in like the assault, like battery included. And it's like
Bro,
Arnold Schwarzenegger
is
a
this a
lawyer.
fucking-
Everything's
It's
gonna be Arnie for the next fucking for the rest of the episode.
Come
Everything's
on.
like,
Dude, is
hey,
this
did you
an
guys hear about
infield?
Camilla? I'll be like, Camilla.
Is this an infield with Dragonov shit all over it?
Everything with Dragonov shit is instantly better.
But then I love this. I think
that
this
one.
is a Mauser. I'm not sure, but the folding stock is what really gets this going for me.
Yeah, that is a Mauser. That's
A
definitely
German
Mauser.
one, yeah. God, again a Mauser.
I don't know
like
if it would be German,
another,
but it's a Mauser. for sure.
another fucking like really historical firearm, and they sawed the stock off.
Right. I love the
Bolted a
fact that like you're
Picatinny
just
up
gonna see
here.
your thumb in the bottom one. Like,
Do these
that's
sh-
gonna be great.
Do these shells? Have you shot a Mauser
TSLs
before?
have never been cheap though.
Me, I actually own a Car 98K.
Do they do the shells go
cool.
up or kind of to the side when you like slide
like-
the bolt back?
It's like up and to the side, I'd say.
Is
like,
this
they just
fucking
they just
scope
kind of
mount?
fly out.
Gonna impede it?
Oh, it'll ding off. it'll like bounce it'll bounce off of it.
Oh my god, that's good. That's good. I don't know. Something's weird with
You
this
know that there
barrel
have been
right
some
here.
AKs.
They like bent it or something.
Oh,
It
God,
looks
they
kind
did
of bent.
bend
I
it.
don't think it actually is, but it looks bent. I think that's just because of the angle of the handguard.
But even look
There's
how
a-
wide this gap is here.
What was
and
the
how
rifle
narrow
that
it
they
is
did
right
that?
there.
There is a rifle that was military issued in the 70s
Is this an infield? It says
or
infield up here.
60s. in the Eastern Bloc and had a slightly curved barrel because Forgotten Weapons did a video on it. It's not much, but like it's like a bullpup kind of design, and they had to do a slight bend to it, but it still kept like a 1 to 1.5 MOA.
That's weird. I don't know. That sounds horrifying. I don't like
yeah,
it.
it's gross.
I don't like it.
That goes
It's gonna
against
be like Flo's video where I'm gonna spend hours on a find this shit.
that goes against everything I know about guns. I mean, you know, there's just a plain SK. This one's just a plain SKS and then just like an AKM. Like, obviously you pick the AKM in this case, but like, you know, cool. Like finally.
Oh,
I mean, yeah,
This
I-
is
what are
weird,
they called?
though.
The-
Look at
the
this-
co- The
look at
cock
this
fork
little
rip? I forgot
baby-
people joked about that.
Look at this little baby heat shield right here.
Cute. I like him.
dude, on the top one, you need to put a fucking bayonet on there. That's what.
Yeah, it's
completes
got one.
that.
They fold out.
That is the
Is
bayonet.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a
that's
fold-out
my
bayonet.
Is it
They're
oh, I
integral.
thought it was. It looks like it's facing backwards because it looks like this.
It is
little-
facing
It is, they
backwards.
flip.
Oh, perfect.
They
oh
flip
my
them
god.
out.
This
Yeah, you
guy,
flip 'em
this
out.
guy memed it.
Like these
It just
are.
needs
It's
to-
funny
They're
because
all they come out of the factory like that.
these are super illegal. This type of SKS.
Are they really?
Yeah. So but you can't have one with a fixed
What?
bayonet on it.
Oh, that's funny.
It's literally just a gun law in place to just make it even harder. Like it's just one more.
Is
thing.
that
It's like pistol
in the
braces
US?
and bump stocks and binary triggers. Yeah.
There's a lot of really strange gun laws in the U.S. regarding like what you can and can't have on a firearm.
What's
and the
going
best
on
part about
here?
America? We follow none of those laws.
Oh yeah,
That's
you
what
guys don't
makes
give,
this place
you guys don't
magical.
give a fuck. That's what. Yeah, it's nice that you guys
Fuck,
don't
bro.
give a shit about.
Well, like when Obama made the
No, we do give
ITAR
a shit about
tax,
him.
I don't believe the ATF ever enforced it.
Nope.
Which basically it was if you sold more than 50 guns in a calendar year, you had to pay back taxes on every gun you sold at like 30%, something fucking insane.
Yeah, how do you enforce
Yeah.
that?
Well, they didn't.
Oh.
Yeah, they wouldn't be able
Well,
to.
if you're doing NFAs, I
Yeah,
don't know
I
what NFA in Canada is though.
Uh,
It's where you like
it would-
sell it through the gun shop with your name, and they sign paperwork, and you sign
So, like-
paperwork.
FFL you're
If-
talking about?
in Canada,
yeah, yeah.
like if you have it's called a non-restricted firearm. So like there's 3 classifications. There's non-restricted, restricted, and prohibited. Prohibited you can't get.
Daddy like.
Restricted is just like a different class of license that require like a restricted firearm would be licensed or would be not licensed, sorry, would be registered. And then a non-restricted gun would not be registered. So like if you have a non-restricted gun, you don't have to do anything. Like you just make sure the other person has a license and there's no like check.
You got a
for it. You
license
just-
for that?
You just go and
Oh
just go and sell it.
no.
Sell or buy, and then like restricted would be registered though. So if you like, for example, let's say I wanted to like hawk my fucking USP in front of me here, and just like, I just want to sell it. Like I would have to go and contact the RCMP and have the registry changed for it, and then they would have to know like who's buying it. But if it were like, say like one of my old World War II rifles, those are unregistered, so they could just go and no one would know.
Now
With the
in
letters.
yeah right. In the U.S., if you have like you could have like grandfathered in guns that are like full auto if they're old enough, and they're transferable. We call it transferable. Do you guys have that where if it's like a full auto that your grandfather had that, or at some point did they just say no? You can't.
Some of
transfer
them,
that?
so that one's really convoluted. Some of them can be willed if you die, and it can go to a family member, and others can't. And I'm not sure what the actual rule is, but it's not consistent, and it's very arbitrary. It doesn't follow like a legal algorithm. It's just like the divine whim of whoever fucking made the law at the time.
Kate, did you ever see the helmet that my mom is trying to give me for something similar to that?
Or not.
It's interesting. It's an interesting piece of history. Flo, have I showed that to you? I'm trying to figure out where I have this picture. I know it's on my phone.
All right, so is this a
Send that to me.
Browning
would you?
automatic rifle?
Lost!
It's got a magazine. I thought those were like belt fed. This is like
Yeah. Send that link to me, Flo.
this one that's up on the screen.
Yes. I want a picture. I want that picture cropped for me. That bar.
Cause it's got like a completely AR lower. It's in general.
I fucking love it.
And look at the foregrip sexy. Not gonna lie. I don't know function wise.
That modernized bar is just an AR-15.
Yeah,
I like
it's
it.
just
That's
got
funny.
bar shit all over it. Yeah.
It's cute. I like it.
I don't like the handle, to be honest, but I like
Fiddling
everything else.
with guns.
Of course they sent it to Rand.
Ooh, that was
I
loud.
love guns. Guns are fun.
Oh, I sent you that bent barrel, by the way. Or I posted it in general. If I remember correctly, it was that one.
From Demolition Range.
Oh, this shot. Oh, the like funny shotgun.
Yeah,
I don't-
because they had the barrel was bent because it was like left-handed. It was made to where it was on the left shoulder, but you use your right. Yeah, go to 248 and you'll see him holding it. So it's made to where the guy had something wrong with his fucking arm or some shit. Like one arm was shorter than the other, so he had to shoulder it with his slave arm and then put it over to his strong eye. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what it was.
That's
Where did you
That's
post
crazy,
this
man.
shit?
It's
In
general.
general.
Oh, I'm still in detail.
There was another one, but I can't fucking remember it.
That's kind of baller,
Oh,
I guess.
Never mind, I'm fucking
Damn,
retarded.
Fed posting
Here's
the
this,
relics.
Dude, that's my
Um,
fucking my mom is really trying to get that from me. I was like,
why would
okay,
you? Is
that's
it
my
like? Is it
grandpa's.
real?
it's
Why would you say no to that? That's amazing. That's
no,
your family.
no. I was like,
Bullpup
my,
over
my
under.
grandpa
That's great.
didn't serve it either side, but he just had it because he's like, this shit's cool, and I was like, dude, I'll fucking take it, sure. And like the other side of my family was like, how do we destroy this thing?
No, fuck you. It's history. Be proud of your fucking
Well,
family. Your
Well, that's what I was like, yeah.
your family believed in that. If nothing else, your your lineage wanted to have a better country, and that's what everyone wants. So what's all
Look
about?
at this shit. Bro, what is this?
Oh
I've
my God.
never shot a sporterized Mosin, and I kind of want to, but I cannot imagine. I
Look
cannot
at,
imagine a fucking like super
wait,
super
here,
fucking
resize
short
this
one.
a little bit.
Dude, that rules.
It's just funny, like the scope mount on it, and I'm pretty sure the bolt would hit it a lot.
What
No,
the
fuck no.
Look at
goddamn-
this! Look at this tactical
that.
pistol grip though, real quick.
it doesn't even.
face on
Oh,
this
it looks like a
dude, what the
dildo.
fuck?
the Bubba Showdown.
And then this.
I just realized
Oh,
what this
I-
series is about.
I love
I
they
was
put
like, a boot.
they put a fucking.
Fucking A-rate, bud.
Oh, did this-
Posting weird guns. Sorry.
Dude, is this in the barrel?
No, they
No,
they
it's
did
on
like
the-
a SKS style, yeah.
They butchered the front sight leaf.
Yeah, they've mounted
Bruh,
that to
and
the,
it's
to
just
the
straight
wood.
sawed off the barrel, and then of course the flipping stock.
This is like something out of Escape from Tarkov.
Dude, they can't. You can't. This. Oh, this is gonna piss me off, bro.
Dude,
I know.
I was like, what are you guys talking about? I was looking at the thing that Joe posted. I was like, this thing's kind of radical. And then, like, I was like, oh, fuck, you're looking at this. Might as well be crowns in the back of that guy. Like, that shit is retarded looking.
I kind of want to shoot the little tiny one. I ain't gonna lie.
Well, yeah, it's got a stock, but look at the wood. It's like splintered, and there's a fucking like. Oh my god.
Do you want to shoot it or do you want to shoot at it? That's the real question.
Yeah, definitely.
No, I want to shoot it. I want to know
That pisses
what
me off.
7.62 by 54 feels like that fucking short.
What is it?
52, 54.
What is it?
Fuck, which one? 54.
M
Yeah, 54R.
41 Johnson.
Johnson.
That's a fat fucking cock there, boy.
Yeah, honestly, like if these are functional guns, I wouldn't mind shooting them just to see what they're like. I mean, the top one's apparently an AR-15, so you know it's just a meme gun. But
What the
I
fuck
guess
is
'cause
happening
they-
in that bottom one?
They painted it.
Okay, that's a so
What?
that mag Forgotten Weapons has 3. What? How you call it? Chow.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Chow.
However you said it. He has
Shochet.
3 of them. It's a French gun, right?
Yeah.
Because the book that he just released is about French historical firearms.
No,
But he's
what the
got
fuck?
3 of those that he bought. That's the SKS fucking bubbed version.
It
That's
doesn't even
Photoshop, though.
like it doesn't. Oh
Yeah,
my
yeah,
God.
but
I
what
can't
the
even
fuck
tell that
is
it was
happening?
in this case.
At the end, what?
It's just
Why
like
would that not work?
just fits in there nice and snug.
No, it's not. Yeah, well, I
Yeah.
mean, the clip would be like really fucking hard to get in there, one, because there's no fucking play in that. You'd literally, you'd
Well,
have to like,
they go in at like a lower angle and then they like clip up, if that makes any sense. So like you'd put it in at like a
okay,
more
yeah,
harsh
yeah,
angle and then it would just pop up.
yeah.
Which I guess, you know, capacity, but like why not just make it longer instead of like like
yeah, yeah.
round
Makes
like
sense.
that? I don't know, maybe
It's
they just like they make the magazine in one complete loop and then they just cut it in half and bend the lips on
I
it.
mean, like what is it called? Like the firing pin at the back. What the fuck is going on back there? What is this?
That's what
thing?
I'm not
is this whole
understanding because
thing?
the SKS.
Yeah.
it
That's why I'm
doesn't,
like, dude, what is that? What the fuck are they?
That's
naming
a
on here?
1889 buffer tube prototype. That's what that is.
Oh, that's actually pretty tight.
Is that like a
Like,
cannon
reduces-
firing one?
yeah,
where
like,
you,
reduces
the
recoil.
pin travels a mile.
But
It's like
look
a
at where
Hadron
look
Collider
at this
pin.
look at what he's
We're
holding on
splitting
to
atoms
right
tonight,
here.
boys.
Look at what he's holding on to right here. It doesn't
Yeah,
appear to be
yeah.
anything, but like that is not
guard?
ideal. Oh, he's got his thumb
He's
hooked
holding
through
on.
it.
Yeah,
Oh.
you're about to break them fucking.
Bro,
digits,
that's
son.
fucked, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, is this real?
You gotta
I
split
thought
an
it was a
atom to split a
Photoshop.
hair, baby.
Now
Let's
I'm
go.
questioning it.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
well,
It is really low res, so who can say?
Cage, how sad is this making you right now? Like, y'all look at like gun memes and shit. I'm like, oh, Cage, what are you doing? And Cage will talk about guns and shit. I'm
In
like,
about
oh,
30
okay.
seconds, we're gonna hear gunshot and then a
Yeah, it's
thud,
like
and then we're gonna fucking
single
press
shot.
F in chat.
I mean, like, you know, some of them are pretty funny. Like, the series is obviously like, you know, who's more Bubba than the other Bubba, right? So, like, it's funny. I'll give it that, right? But
Oh,
some of
hell
them
yeah,
are
look
pretty
at this.
depressing. Okay.
Obrez, baby,
Obra's
Obrez.
Obra's nunchucks. Like, all right, we know.
Let's
All right,
go.
hold on a second. I'll make an
Why
exception
are there
for the
no
Obra's
bayonets?
nunchucks.
Oh, are there? Do they have fold-out bayonets? Because that's what you need on those.
Yeah.
Oh, you wouldn't be able to.
You need some swangers on them. You need
That
some
would be fucking funny.
Ochre swangers.
What's going on with this one?
I think that's just a normal Mosin sniper.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
like
a-
it's
yeah, that's a
literally
normal
got
PU.
the old school scope and shit that's like
Yeah,
canted.
It could very well just be a
Yeah.
normal PU sniper, but then the
Yeah,
Obrez
what?
nunchucks, Obrez nunchucks.
Dude, I just think
like,
it's so funny. This fucking the fat 7.62, like these things kick like mules with a long barrel, and so now you've sawed off the barrel and removed the stock.
But it's on a chain, so you can
Yeah,
like you
I
can
guess.
hold on to one when the other one flies out of your hand. And just catch it on its way back over. But I haven't seen this yet, and like it might be a new Bubba thing. But you need brass knuckle trigger guards.
Oh, Brez shucks.
Like-
Actually,
or like,
bro,
uh,
you
like-
would
There
make
was
a
a-
ton of money.
Do you remember in Inglorious Bastards that gun that was in the glove where he punched him and it shot? I watched a guy, someone just made one of those on YouTube like in the last week or so. They actually made a working prototype of the punch guns where you punch and the trigger, the firing pin is when it makes contact with someone's like face or chest.
Oh my god, that's insane. Oh, or you could do it like what is it, the repeaters, like those old ass like the Winchester repeater thing where you do like the you know, like the old like BB gun thing where you like it's like a
Oh,
22 or
yeah.
whatever. You do that, but you do brass knuckles on that, so you like, oh, my hands caught it, whack, you
Ooh.
just like swack at somebody with it.
This is why
going
308
back to
is
the
like the
O-
best round.
Yeah, going back to the Obrez, Mel Gibson, what was that movie where he was in the Civil War and he had like he was the ghost where he had like
The
20
Patriot.
guns hidden in the woods? Yeah. See,
Oh, no, that
imagine
movie.
him with 10 Obrezes, okay? Now hear me out, okay? You have him drinking
Flying out of his
vodka in
hands.
Russia in the 60s, and this works magically.
It's pretty crazy.
I'd watch it. I'd fucking watch that.
Just call him Sergey.
and just have him running around with Obrezes and vodka in his back pocket.
Hell yeah. Dude, and also, if you want to fucking kick, if you haven't seen the Monster Hunter movie yet, I think y'all specifically would enjoy it because it's like... Do y'all know Monster Hunter at all?
Yeah, I've played.
I saw it in
played,
Redbox, and I almost got it, and I remembered I had a fucking podcast, so I decided not to.
It's kind of hilarious. It's pretty much worth it. It's just as bad as like Resident Evil is, like where it's just like, what the fuck am I watching? Except you get to see like a Diablo's taking RPG to the face.
Why are
You're
people
like, yeah,
murdering
dude.
Obrezes
Sold.
like this?
Yeah, dude, trust me. When I was like, oh my god.
And then this is like
and then
a 22 long
Ron
rifle
Perlman shows up. It
bolt
makes you so
action.
happy. This is fucking
I'll take-
22
I-
long rifle Mosin.
I think I would rather take the Polish 22 there over the Obrez. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, the Obrez is useless in this.
I feel like
Oh,
that's
yeah.
not even a gun. I feel like for the action, you actually have to like slide the
You
action
do, like,
forward
that's the
fast enough
thing.
to like hit the bullet and make it go. Like the firing pin is like you.
Well,
like,
the thing is
rifling
that,
for
like,
that action.
with something like an Obrez, the round doesn't actually have enough time to pick up velocity.
That's
so,
another
like,
thing. Yeah.
It leaves, yeah. It basically like leaves the barrel and then like starts to like keyhole its targets from like 10 feet
300,
away.
Yeah,
like,
300 feet per second
Well,
or
I mean,
whatever.
it's good. There's no fucking yeah that thing.
it has
the
no
whole thing
time to
makes
pick
no
up
sense.
speed.
Yeah, the 22
Yeah.
long rifle coming out of this barrel is probably way faster than the 7.62 coming out of
There's
that.
there's a good chance.
I was
there's a
gonna say,
really
what does
good
that
chance.
actually fire? Because that's gotta be insane.
I mean, it'll work because it's bolt action. Bolt action never breaks.
Oh, that classic scene.
Epic
Oh my
eye.
god.
baby.
Go look at general and go to 39 seconds. I found a video of a guy shooting a fucking Obrez.
But does he keep a hold of it?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Why is this open? Get the fuck out of here. What timestamp did you say?
38.
39. Oh my god.
Or whatever.
Let's see if he hits anything. No.
There's no fucking
Hit a
way.
guy from a different
Oh,
video.
I love how he's shooting at a terrorist with a watermelon. Yeah.
The watermelon lives to see another day.
I have a whole new respect. I mean, I don't know. I guess if you were like a gangster or something, maybe.
This is like
Like, put it
literally
in your
Terminator, Sarah Connor's fucking tomb random gun that you give Arnold, and only that robot can hit like
I'm
anything.
surprised the barrel harmonics are as good as it is, because you think that thing would fly.
Dude, look at these motherfuckers. The fucking run and
Wow, it just kind of goes, back. I think because KG, it's not kicking as much because of the barrel, right? It's not building up enough velocity.
Well, yeah, because I mean, I believe you're correct.
I'm thinking that can be the only reason, because I've shot a Mosin before and they kick fucking hard, like they hurt your shoulder after.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
worst
that's
thing I
just
ever
true.
did was not put on the buffer. Like it's like you can slide them on. It's like $20, like cheaper than dirt. It's like a rubber recoil pad, right? So as soon as I bought it, I put it on. I didn't think nothing about it. Well, we were fucking around with it and took it off. And you realize 7.62 by 54 with a steel plate against your collarbone hurts like a fucking dirty cunt. Like it just fucking is insane. And you're just like, this
Is
is
this,
unreal. Like
This is a Mossberg.
like you do like 40 rounds through a Mosin, like
That's
within
what I'm
like
saying,
a short
bro.
period of time. You're like, I
Fucking
regret
hurts.
life decisions.
You get used to it.
Is this
eventually.
yeah, you build up the
Dude, the
muscle and shit, but-
stylization. the fucking saturation and the one above that, and then like the actual like what happens during the shots. These gun
I
dudes,
know
like,
it's funny. They
I didn't
memed
think
it.
they would do like.
The editing's
yeah.
amazing.
Well, I didn't think they would do like half of the fucking like visuals that they're doing, but they're going for it. Yeah, I
It was
figured
a
there'd be a bunch
badass
of slow
picture.
mo. That I'm not surprised by, but the fucking stylization, it's like, oh my god, fucking who's the guy who did the thing? It's Zack Snyder. Hold my beer.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
fucking, I
Yo.
raise you. You show me fucking Aquaman taking 10 minutes to walk across a dock, drinking Jack Daniels and jumping into the sea. I'll show you my fucking Bubba Gun video. It's fucking great.
I think my next thing is like a lever action shotgun. I have a real fucking
Lever
like,
action.
hard on
That's
for
what
those.
it is. Fuck, I could not.
Why,
I couldn't
though?
remember the
Like,
name of
just
that
for
sim in
fun?
life. That sounds badass.
I just lever action to me. It just seems. I don't know, like
A lever action shotgun?
yeah.
I want
or
to
a
be fucking
rifle.
Arnold Schwarzenegger on a fucking motorcycle
Yeah.
in fucking Terminator 1. How dare you?
Yeah.
Ooh, a
that's what I'm
K-31.
thinking.
Yeah.
Shit, I don't know. Like in I don't know. Lever action to me is just like
Gun Jesus.
just fun. There's your boy.
I mean, they're great. Like 30-30s and fucking.
I wish this
45,
wasn't
70.
so loud.
I've watched every single one of his
Fuck.
Q&As.
Fuck.
It was the Chili's restaurant.
Frequently asked questions.
Hi,
with
welcome to
love.
Chili's.
Frack.
What the
Oh,
fuck?
So
nani?
I actually only worked in one bar. I spent 3 years there, and that was the sum total of my bartending career. And it was, are you ready for this? It was the Chili's restaurant.
Hi, welcome to Chili's.
Oh my.
Hilarious old memes.
Dude, he's got so much great information on his Q&As.
Yeah, especially if you're into firearm history.
He got me
Ooh.
into it. Like, I started watching those, and I just, like, went, like, a huge deep dive.
Look at this.
Now that is kind of neat.
North Korean.
I don't even know what those would be worth, man.
Let's see. North Korean SKS
I mean,
with pastel fill on some markings and close up. The gas cutoff for grenade launching was hard to find, but the markings are still legible.
Gesundheit.
Huh.
I'd pay 500 bucks for it.
She brushes her teeth like a savage, dude.
I wonder why.
Good God, woman, take your time. There might be molars, but you can dull them out even more.
Let's see what he does.
Well, he's got me now. Or does he? Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Well, he's got me now. Or does he?
Fucking like took the slide off. Oh my god.
Dude, that's some straight John Wick shit. That I can only hope to God that someone has tried during a bank robbery so I can see the footage of them getting their head blown off.
I don't know.
Like, I would
Depending on,
love to
I'm not
watch
gonna
someone
lie.
try that to a cop or something.
Depending.
Be like, oh, you're gonna arrest me? Or are you?
Depending on the situation and the person's body language, if somebody puts a gun in my face, like close enough for me to grab it, I don't know. It would just depend. Because if it's like semi-automatic, you've got the thing where you could stop the slide action from happening. So if you're out of the way and you grab it and they squeeze off around, then it's basically disabled. But I mean, it really would just depend on if I feel like this guy's gonna like kill me or not.
dicks.
Look at this extra Glock, extra long Glock. Extra long Glock or a CZ? I don't know. 75B.
Fuck,
it
I've-
says.
Yeah, that's the CZ75. Fuck, what?
I kind of like that long.
Oh,
boy.
it's just a Glock 17.
17L. Yeah.
So,
it's got like a
I
7-inch
would-
barrel.
I would take the 17L.
Yeah, why
because
not? I'm not gonna lie. I'm not the most accurate with handguns, so.
I would take it. Like it would have pretty low muzzle flip, and you know,
Oh,
it
it'd
would
just be
an
super accurate.
boy.
Yeah, 9 millimeter
accurate boy.
with 8 inches of barrel.
Be a nice. It'll be fun. I like long barrel pistols, but I do a lot of like sport shooting. So
Dude, this is badass. I want one of these so bad. The PC9.
they're
Takes
not bad.
Glock mags.
They're not bad at all. The FX9, if you're interested, is pretty good too. If you can find them,
Well, that's the thing. I don't even look anymore because I'm so sad.
it's okay.
So let's see. Bull pump.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Bull pump.
Arr,
That's
arr.
funny. Is it pump action though?
No, I think it'll be semi-auto.
It has to be, right?
I would assume this is semi-auto.
Pump shotgun. The feel
It
of
is a
this
pump?
isn't like the Keltex
No
plasticky
kidding.
lightweight feel. This feels way more sturdy and tougher. The pistol grip and butt pad feel amazing with that rubber basically molds in the hand and shoulder. Chambered in 12 gauge. 20 round drums. Standard 1919 shotgun magazines. The pump feels really smooth and not gritty. Controls similar to an AR-15. Ambi safety, bolt release, ambidextrous mag release. That's kind of cool for a bull pup. Spring assisted pump.
Dude, Atlantic Firearms has done
That's
more
badass.
for the gun industry than the
I'm gonna have to look at
fucking
this. Black Aces tactical.
NRA.
They do that. They have all kinds of kits. Black Aces for different, like you can take a regular Mossberg 590 and turn it into like a magazine fed.
Don't you soil my name with that bullshit. How dare you?
Dude, those kits aren't that expensive. I've looked into them. You know, but because I mean, like they were huge back in the day before Mossberg came out with the 590M.
Dude, have you ever shot a Vector?
I have. They're really popular here.
Is it good? What do you think about it?
It's
Once
nothing.
you get used to the recoil, is it normal-ish?
It's nice because they're soft shooting. Like all the engineering behind it works. They don't feel good. Like I don't know how else to describe it. Like they don't feel good in their hands. Like they're so weird.
Did you shoot it a semi-automatic version?
Yeah, we don't have full auto here, so.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe.
But you know,
yeah,
Why are
so
they
I guess
popular
you-
up there?
So,
'Cause-
I don't know
because
if you know KG.
just because gun shops have a bunch of them. That's pretty much it.
So essentially, you can get any gun you want, literally, like minus like nukes and shit. It's so. Are you familiar with like America's license thing?
Like the FFL.
Class
yeah. So it is. Is it class 3? I thought 3 was
is.
the dealer license.
Class 3 is manufacturing as well, which is also full auto.
But yeah, you can get these. So like the difference between you owning a fully automatic gun and not is literally just like 6 months and probably $1,000. It's so dumb.
One great blowjob.
Seriously,
Wow.
to some ATF agent.
I mean, like, it's tempting on one hand to do that, but I'm really focused with the type of like firearm stuff I do, right? Like I'm
Well, the
a
problem
competition
is,
shooter, right? So
here's the catch-22 situation. Those guns are $20,000. Like an M16 pre-ban is like 20 grand,
yeah,
right?
yeah, that's
So the
true.
people that have those guns, there's no motivation for them to try and like change the laws or anything, because if they do change the laws and make it less restrictive, which is never going to happen anyways, the value of that gun would drop off because now like anybody can buy them or manufacture or whatever. So that's the shitty part about that. You used to
Yeah,
be
that's-
able to buy a fucking Tommy gun from the back of a magazine. Ooh.
Sears Roebuck, baby.
Dude, this is got to be like the most horrible stock I've ever seen on a shotgun. Like,
Jurassic Park, how dare you?
that would
you
like
clever
actually
girl.
injure you. Like, I
It's
don't
a
understand.
Bush. I mean, it wasn't it made for a bush? Like, just like something you just throw in the back of the
So,
the Land Rover.
Am I correct? You're supposed to straighten this out, and then this hook goes behind your shoulder, and then you can pump them one-handed?
Correct.
I have
That
no
was
idea.
the concept. You hook your arm through it. You put
Yeah.
your forearm, and then tuck it in.
It looks like this is hinged, where it would go over your shoulder.
Yeah,
that
that's
doesn't
how you
make
fold
any
it over.
sense.
Yeah, so you fold that. That's how you fold the whole thing forward, on top. So it's like a pistol grip, and then it folds back for a. If you actually want like aim better.
Pistols.
See,
Artillery
here-
Luger.
See, this
Yeah,
is...
it's like that. Yeah, it's on. Yeah. That's
That's
when it's in
gross.
the, like just in the truck.
Ugh.
I don't like that at all.
What
But that
is
also
this,
turns
though?
too. You can pull that out and then turn it 90 degrees to have
Right.
it facing away from.
Still fucked up. Like, I don't know. Like, it just... I can't imagine a tactical scenario where I would need to do that. If I have another gun in my other hand.
I mean,
have to
shotguns
be
are
able to
kind of like
one-handed
for
pump my
like
shotgun.
tactical things. Shotguns are kind of going the way of the dinosaur. Like they have fewer and fewer applications.
No, fuck you. They will forever have applications. I don't give a shit.
Tactically.
Me and Arnold are fucking. Me and Arnold. I'm holding that one down.
Well, they're great for fucking birds. I mean,
Yeah.
And Dragon's Breath, how dare you?
I know.
No
How are you
other-
gonna not
no
talk?
other
We haven't even
gun
talked
shoots
about
Dragon's
Dragon's
Breath.
Breath once, bro. Once.
True.
We should have been talking at least like 25% of the time about Dragon's Breath. Fucking, what the hell? What's the little spear called when there's like a spear inside? Flechette.
Yeah.
Flechette
Yeah.
rounds.
Bullshit. Look at that
Alright, I
Mosin
can't
revolver
find
you
it.
just passed.
What?
The walrus penis.
No, it's up there somewhere. I think it's up one more. Is that? No.
This what you're
Maybe.
talking about? That's like
Was
a
that
that's
the-
a Schofield.
What was the revolver that they designed a suppressor to go on it during?
A suppressed revolver.
Wasn't it
Yeah,
the Nagant?
yeah, the Mosin. Yeah. That's
Nagant
something.
revolver? There's like the
Yeah,
Nagant
yeah.
revolver, yeah.
Yeah, because it had like a almost like 99 point something % sealed chamber.
Where did
Yeah,
I pass
it
it?
was well made. The Ruger 5.7. I've actually heard some okay things about that, even though it's made by Ruger.
It shoots that FN round.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, I've heard good things about those pistols.
It
I
would
mean, they're
probably be
overpriced,
like an
but-
RMR.
I've
It's
seen
got that weird
nothing but
trigger
good reviews.
safety.
Yeah,
that
I've heard
fucking
they were good.
No,
Springfield.
fuck that trigger
cloned.
safety.
Did I pass the?
No, I thought the other
Yeah, it was just kind of
revolver
thinking
was.
that.
I'm gonna have to look into that because that sounds fun. I had. Oh, okay. Last thing. Let's go to. I bet you know about this, Cage.
Let's see.
Oh wait, I might.
Test your gun knowledge, boy.
Around here, I fucked the mouse.
Mm,
Hold on.
Speaking of fucking mice, remember the first time on the internet you saw someone fuck a snake?
I've never seen
No,
someone
doesn't make-
fuck a snake.
No, okay.
Oh, it's
have
Toronto, not
either.
Ontario.
What?
All right.
Toronto is in Ontario. Toronto is in Ontario.
Oh, I know. It's just like the Toronto page, not Ontario. Here's so you know what?
Ooh.
It checks out what you said earlier. Chris Vector,
Right, they're
very
pretty common.
popular.
They're very common.
This one has no stock, and it's not folded up. It's just gone.
That's pretty
Oh,
normal
but-
too.
Yeah, so but the how that would be fairly okay. It'd be
It's
like
just
AR
like a fucking
pistol.
gun. Yeah, like a regular pistol.
Lock, no stock, and only one barrel. Let's go.
See, it's a Glock. Right?
Yeah,
No, or Springfield.
That's a Glock.
It's a Glock.
Yeah.
I didn't know they had trigger safeties like that.
Most striker fire triggers are like that.
Okay. Wow. Something happened. A little bit of an
Yeah,
issue.
I bet it was inside the guy's butt on the way to prison.
Bro,
It has
like,
a major case of being a Ruger pistol. That's
yeah,
what
Ruger semi-auto. Why is there
Yeah.
like
So
there's
true.
a fucking case and a bullet just like deconstructed, just chilling? I wonder what that's
It was-
about.
For autism's sake,
Yeah,
this is a 18 plus Lego set.
I bet
So
you
that-
this is
that-
an extendo. No,
that,
it's a
like,
standard
that-
magazine. Look at
that little subcompact Glock you wouldn't be able to get here at all.
Really, it's just straight up illegal.
Really?
Yeah, you would have to. That would have had to have been smuggled across the border 100%.
Huh.
Because like they won't import them
Joe,
into
just
Canada.
shut your fucking mouth, bro. Don't even worry about it.
all
and
the
it's
little
muddy.
all the little compacts like that you can't get legally in
See,
Canada.
this is
at
what
all.
I'm
Can you
talking
get the-
about. The fucking
Can you get the
Brazilian.
Glock mid-size?
The what?
This is
Midsize?
my grandfather's Glock. Do
So-
you know what it took to get this Glock to you?
All handguns in Canada have to be full size handguns.
So you see this little like notch right here?
Yeah.
If it's an American magazine, around down here in the middle, there's a hole. On the Brazilian ones, there's not. And if you have one of the Brazilian ones with one of the American-made guns, it like doesn't vent enough, and it'll just shoot out the bottom. It'll shoot the round, but it won't feed, and the magazine just falls out. Like when it happened to me a couple times, I figured I was like hitting the mag release on accident, but I was not. Just retarded.
Nar. You hate to
Just
see
bad
it.
design. What the fuck
Cage
is
has
this?
my favorite Onar I've ever heard. Yeah,
The
it's
fuck is that?
post seppuku Onar.
So what?
I don't even really know what that is, to be
Why
honest.
is the muzzle brake back here?
It's broken.
For
That's
grip.
broken.
This is like a
Is
9
that not a
millimeter.
grip for a thug?
This is a 9 millimeter. Maybe it is a grip. Maybe that's
Is
No,
what
I
it
this,
think
is
is.
this the
oh,
camera,
that's
or is
broken.
this, or is it like bendy?
I would
Is it
say
bendy?
9
I
millimeter,
think it's
but
broken.
maybe it's a 22. But it's
That
some
guy's
low
No,
caliber.
that's probably a 9mm, but it's
That guy
broken.
too.
Oh, is this a
Oh.
Markov?
No.
Ooh.
What is that? Oh, Walter PPK.
Yeah, I actually knew. I was like,
There's-
close. I was like,
There's another gun you can't get here through legal channels at all.
Is it because what is the
Oh, yeah,
reasoning
it's
that they
on
give?
bullshit.
Is it like the barrel length, or it's just like frame size, or?
Barrel length, overall size as well. It's just like
Oh.
pretty much the general rule of thumb is that if it's got a short barrel, you can't have
Fuck
it here.
yeah.
Dude, look at this fucking thing.
fuck yeah.
So that would be another thing you couldn't get here through normal
Right.
channels.
Look, I've never seen a
Y'all
grip
just
like this. I
haters.
wonder if this red shit is soft, or like the areas where it's red.
I would hope so.
Oh my
You can work out your
god,
fingers
what
and
is
shit at the
this?
same time.
Man, I could take
Another-
over the street corner with that baby.
Bruh.
Another thing you couldn't get naturally here.
Dude, what is okay, so it's like a Yugo style with the foldy stock. But then it's been like shortened,
That came on some of the AKs.
and then
That I don't
this
know.
is just a weird ass foregrip, but then it's got like that
Okay,
that barrel
Bird cage.
flash hider and like a this is fucking gross. Oh my god.
Now you can get those here no problem legally.
Oh
I bet you can.
This is
But
a
The
40.
I w-
goddamn rifles.
Can you,
and
I would-
fuck
I
can you
would-
get the 50 cal too?
The majority of like handguns that end up in the streets in Canada are smuggled from the U.S. Like the
Well,
vast
right.
majority of them.
Yeah, that's
Because
what I
it's
was-
really it's really hard to get a handgun legally in Canada.
I have a friend
Really hard to
who's
draw purchase them
both
too.
his
Oh,
parents,
crimes
they
against
carry around
stocks,
Desert
bro.
Eagles.
Ugh.
Ew. Hey,
I
man,
was
Wait.
electric tape
wondering.
is for extra
So
grip.
like,
The,
I think the tape
mom
is for
carries
grip.
the deagle as
yeah,
well.
yeah, she's yeah. I was like, why is your purse so fucking heavy? And she's like, oh, I hit people with it. And I was like, what? And she's like, no, with the gun. And she pulled out a fucking Desert Eagle. I was like, oh my god.
It's amazing.
She pulled it out on the
Click
table
on
that
the
she had just
fucking
made pizza
flintlock.
on.
the flintlock. Hey, real
This
quick,
is
did you
the,
guys just hear a weird noise?
Nope.
Like,
No.
I don't know. A couple times a stream, every stream, I hear this weird noise, and I don't know if it's in the replays or what, but I just was curious.
I've
Finally, I got
never
fed
heard
up.
that.
That flintlock should be
what
called the
was that?
Vendetta. The
What was
one-shot
the,
Vendetta.
About the white rapper, it was like
Look at how many
Miami.
likes this shit has.
Oh fuck, what was it? It was about the white
Kong
rapper. It
Ain't
was
Got
like a
Shit on
spoof
Me.
movie.
We're gonna have to look
Yeah,
at
yeah.
There was a,
comments.
Yeah, it's King Kong Ain't Got Shit on Me. He's the
Oh yeah, I know what movie
Malibu's
you're
Most
talking
Wanted.
about.
Yeah, Malibu's Most Wanted. Yeah, where he pulls out that fucking like flintlock or where the fuck it was at the end of the movie.
Yeah, the musket. Is
The
that
musket. There you go, the musket.
Yeah.
It's
This is
one
a
of those
harpoon gun, the musket
unserialized
is
Yes.
ghost
RPG.
guns the
Yeah.
news told me about.
Aw, shit, Mr. Krabs. You don't want to go down this road.
Colonial Port Royal. Was this confiscated before or after the duel?
Yeah.
First
yeah,
they took
see,
me
that's-
pistol, then they took me rapier.
Yeah, I love that in America. It wasn't that long ago. We had a president that actually had duels because he was a fucking man.
It
Seriously.
fucking won.
Yes.
You should totally bring back
And
dueling should
this is
definitely
the
be allowed.
this is the OG.
I agree.
This is the OG gangster gun, a Glock 40 with a fucking 30 round.
Jesus.
Extendo Clipazine.
It's a fucking Pez dispenser.
Hell
That's what
yeah,
you need.
bro.
You need a fucking
Ooh.
hard ass metal Pez dispenser.
If you saw that at a flea market, I would buy it and never shoot that thing.
Oh my
Do you-
god.
oh my god, look at
I'd buy
this.
that
They
s-
fucking someone
It
was
was just in the
magnet
light.
fishing.
Could you
Yeah.
the actual fishing accident?
so-
Could you imagine like offering your boss Pez though out of like a fucking
Schofield.
Like, you want some Pez? You're like, oh god, no.
Oh, Ivor
You're like,
Johnson,
yeah, no, it's a Pez
actually.
dispenser.
So do you guys know why criminals would use a gun like this?
No casings.
No cases.
Fair.
Same thing with
It's
like
also
double
why
barrel
the,
shotguns.
Yeah, it's also why a lot of the times the Italians back in the day used to use a lot of a 22 because it was wide enough you could still pull a fucking headshot.
Ugh, this fucking Croatian clone with a fucking fake. It's so bullshit. Like the modern Springfield has nothing to do with like the Springfield of 100 years ago or 150 years ago.
No, but the XDs are not incredibly bad guns.
They're
though.
just
they
cheap.
serve their purpose.
They're just cheap. They're like shitty clones of a Croatian handgun, if I remember correctly. Look, this
I
guy
like
had
my
a little
buddies.
clip.
I've had no problems out of his XDMs.
There's a little clip on here. That's pretty good.
Yeah,
looking,
you can buy
actually.
the P32 that I bought like 5 or 6 years ago. It came with that clip from Keltec.
That's pretty.
You can just it comes in the little Tupperware.
That's cool. Damn, look at this SKS, bro. This is actually not fucked.
Roof.
Yeah, see that's the mags that I used to fucking fight with because you gotta hook it in like 2.5 motions. It's like 1, 2, and you kind of tilt a little bit in 3.
Is this
You go up.
restricted in Canada?
Huh?
Is this
No.
restricted?
You can get SKS in Canada.
That would be non-restricted.
There's no like folding stock rules or anything.
Nope. There's an overall length rule,
Ooh,
but
this guy had a bodyguard with a laser.
isn't that the shield?
Yeah. Or
Yeah, it comes
is it a
with-
shield or a bodyguard? I can't remember.
Oh.
MNP shield, yeah.
It's all a budget gun to me.
How much are SKSs right now? I know that they've been like skyrocketing.
Probably like 300 or 400.
Yeah, about 300 or 400 Canadian right now.
Oh, look at this Walter.
It's not a
What
bad
is
gun.
this? What is this right here? Is that like a safety for the trigger?
That's a mag release.
Whoa, that's baller.
It's a
Oh
paddle
no,
release.
God.
It's really common on a lot of European pistols. They'll
Huh.
have it's ambidextrous, so there'll be one on the
Nice.
other side. So
do
you
you
basically
do you ever bump it or no?
No, I mean almost all HKs
Click
have
that
them.
blow.
Let me try.
Click that Glock.
Like I've got
Like so what do you use your thumb? I'm like
index finger.
fingering my gun right now.
Index finger. You just move it down.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Is
Bro,
that rust on the Glock? What is that?
I think it's a leaf. I've seen this
Oh.
before. Well, it's rust on the barrel for sure, but like on this little portion, I think it's a leaf.
Oh.
It's low res, but it's got like that shadow.
Yeah, like a lot of the HK pistols have paddle releases. Walthers, just basically, it's really popular in Europe.
It's kind of baller.
I think that thumb is better, but
Well, yeah.
for mass producing, like if you're mass producing ambidextrous guns, then paddle's better. Whereas
Well, yeah.
thumb is better, like performance-wise, but it's
Well,
harder to make
Well,
ambidextrous.
because we're like you were saying earlier, it's all about high profile grip and like forearm control and shit like that. So chances
Yeah.
are your hands are gonna be higher up than closer to the guard. Ooh, fucking Tech 9. Tech 9.
I'm not even mad.
Something looks fucky around the magazine. Well,
Yeah, did it break and they welded it back or what?
it's fucking JD
Probably.
Weld, son.
Like plastic weld?
Yeah, it's a little
Like
perma-lock.
epoxy. Jesus.
This is this is a really old gun.
I think that's just a TT-33 with like aftermarket parts.
That's what I'm saying. It's like weird fucking grips.
I'll have you know, my uncle had that and gave it to me when he went to prison. And after he raised me, when my daddy went to prison. Okay.
That's
That
crazy.
gun
Yeah,
right
your
there
dad
has
went to jail
robbed
because
a
his
lot of liquor
handgun.
stores.
Hey, let's go.
Honestly, chances are, like, almost all the guns that they have were not used in a crime in Canada. Like, it's pretty rare.
I wonder if this is if this is the American magazine or not that I've been talking about.
Could well be.
I like how
There
like
was
one
actually-
of these hollow points is like super new. Like all the other ones look like they've been shit all over.
Okay. There was, pretty recently in Canada, the police did a massive Hells Angels, weapons trafficking bust. And they ended up confiscating, like, hundreds of grenades or something.
What?
That's
Where the fuck did
amazing.
they get grenades?
Yeah, that's what
This
I want to
is,
know. But they got grenades.
This is what you were talking about earlier. I can't believe this is prohibited. That's so funny. A fucking 7-round
First of
9mm Glock clone.
Completely
fucking
prohibited here.
Illegal. That's
You wouldn't be able.
Little
You
fun
wouldn't
for
be able
you.
to. You wouldn't be able to legally import it at all.
You know what's fucked up is that's real sexist, honestly, because like the market for smaller guns like that is women.
Or
True.
concealing in general. If you're, I mean,
Now what about this?
Devil's
This is
advocate.
like this is
Well,
technically
Well, you can't conceal here. You're not
subcompact.
allowed.
This is prohibited too, huh?
Yeah, all of them.
Also, Tango Whiskey put a little fucking hypey thing.
Yeah, you can't carry
I
for
haven't
you
been
can't
paying
carry for
attention to my
self-defense here or
fucking-
Yeah, I know
anything.
you
So
Chats at
fucking
all.
suck.
Not once have I looked
Can
at
you-
them tonight.
so wait, you just have it in your vehicle?
no, you can't even do that. You can't use a gun for anything other than sport in Canada legally. If you shot someone in self-defense, you're fucked. Like you're going to prison.
Wow, that's hilarious. Not
If someone were in
hilarious,
your-
but it's,
if-
like,
If
gross.
someone were in your house and killing your family and you shot them, you're going to prison.
Your Honor, he was inside of my butthole. What else could I do? No.
There was-
Sorry.
There was
Let him
there was
finish.
you know what? There was a guy that was being
isn't real.
stabbed in his own house. There's a guy that went into his house. Some meth head went and tried to stab a knife through his head, and he woke up with this meth head failing to stab through his
Ghost,
skull.
that's probably fed,
So,
not cagey.
he-
But yeah.
He got into a fight
Wait,
with
what?
this meth head that was trying to stab him to death, and he killed the meth head with his, in like a barehanded fight scenario, and that guy ended up having prison time.
Well, but he didn't
So-
use a gun.
He didn't use a gun, but I mean that's just to show
They
how
still
like crazy it is. They
Jesus,
still,
fuck.
yeah, Canada's fucked. Like there's a saying out in rural Canada actually, it's pretty gangster. It goes
No.
shoot, shovel, shut up. So we have
yeah,
a
I've
big
heard that a lot.
yeah,
Yeah.
we have a big problem in rural Canada, like real rural Canada, like out in the mountains and like and whatnot, right? Far north, where there's like where the weather's shit. There's a problem with roving packs of like meth addicted natives, and they'll
Huh.
break into houses. They'll break into houses and rape and kill people. Not even kidding.
As they
one,
do.
one of my good friends from the military, his great aunt, not his great aunt, no, just his aunt
Tango,
was
thanks for the
killed,
hype, bro.
was killed like that. She was murdered in her own home by a bunch of people with baseball bats, and with baseball bats at that. She didn't have a gun or nothing, and yeah, they obviously never caught the killers because reality is like that, right? You're not gonna catch.
I think
people
like
that do that.
half the homicides in America
So-
aren't even reported or something like
Most-
that. The
most-
only reason
most
they know about
just-
them is they
yeah.
find a body somewhere.
Yeah, most murders go unsolved.
Also,
But
well, you have no idea what fucking sounds are. Like,
No, I
you can't
realized
hear-
he's talking about the gun clicking, not Mike
yeah,
Crackle.
of course. Wait,
Yeah,
no, I
um,
don't have mic. I'm crackling right now.
Not
No.
now actually. You were earlier though.
Yeah.
I
for,
think
like,
it's you,
maybe
dude.
a
I've heard
minute.
no crackling.
You
'Cause,
don't
like,
have
you
the
said the same thing about
autistic
Apple.
ears. I swear to God, like you can hear it on the stream. I'm sure.
Well, no.
What's
it's
that condition
much
where
more
people
subtle.
hear static when they're schizophrenia? There you go.
Big
No, it's not
gay.
static.
Big gay is what you're saying.
Oh, see now you're crackling again. Here, let's see. Hold on.
I
Oh,
really
am I
think it's your
crackling?
end, dude.
Let's use the Trovo stream. Why not?
No.
Well,
Oh,
no,
see
you
now
might-
you're crackling. Again. Here, let's see.
It's very
really
slight.
think
Like
it's
when I
Let's
like
use-
talk. Like it's when
Tango,
the
was
thanks for the
killed.
hype, bro.
peaks for a second.
That-
was killed like that. She was murdered in her own home by.
Let me see if I can.
Well, you have no idea what fucking sounds are.
No, you have no
I
idea
don't
what
know
fucking
what
sounds
he's
are.
Well, you're the one who was like, "Oh my God," he
Yeah.
blamed it on me, and it's like, "No, this isn't."
Well,
No, I'm
yeah,
just
I mean,
listening
you
to
gotta
it now,
listen
actually,
super
you were
close to
earlier.
hear that shit.
Yeah,
I
for,
think
like,
it's you, dude. I've heard no crackling.
You
'Cause,
don't
like,
have
you said
the
same thing about
autistic
Apple.
ears. I swear to God, like you can Alright, hear it on sorry, the one stream. sec. I'm sure. We're getting there, folks.
We're just gonna listen to ourselves loop back 4 different times on a replay over and over and over again.
Schizophrenia. There you go.
Streamception
gay.
static.
Big gay is what you're saying.
Oh, see now you're crack. Yep, it is there. It's all right. I don't mind. I'm just autistic. That's all. Don't worry about it. Oh, yeah. So, damn. What do you think they do with these guns, KG? Do they destroy them?
I would assume that the majority of them are destroyed or kept for evidence.
Oh yeah, I've seen this one before. Look at this. Tell me what you think about that.
That's
Oh, yeah.
hilarious.
I wonder if it's actually like pretty good. Like, cause
I bet it's shit.
those fucking guns, you can't really. You have to fire them.
Look
from
how
the
it's
hip.
attached. This is not like. Did they just ram that fucker on there with a
Semen.
hammer? Maybe.
I wish these were higher quality. Like these pictures are from fucking.
Potatoes.
I bet you pellets would fly out of these sides. Yeah, that's probably what would happen.
Holy
would
shit, I didn't
fucking
think about
roll,
that.
though. That would
Can
be
you
so
imagine if you were at a club and some fucking jackass pulls that fucker out the trunk and you're standing next to him and get fucking tagged? You're like, you motherfucker.
It's a crowd control rifle, bro.
What is it?
Look at this. Yeah.
You know,
guess
Seattle
they-
police would have loved to have used that fucker about a year ago. It'd been real goddamn useful.
Bro,
Because
here it
everyone's
is.
catching beads.
The roadblocker
Ah,
muzzle
they-
brake.
They call it the Mardi Gras mangler, right? There you
The
go.
Mardi Gras
Bro,
mangler.
this apparently. Look at this.
Beads,
Bro, look at the bead sight. Look at the
amazing.
top of his bead.
Yeah, right. Look at the beads on this dude.
Holy
Man,
shit.
that's wild. Like, I can get with, like, a suppressed... No, here it is again. This one has a fucking magazine extension on it.
That's a Looney Tunes thing where the gun inhales for a second and then shoots. It like
I know,
sneezes
bro.
and
Look,
then
it's-
fires.
This one has a
Like a
fucking
fucking
bipod.
elephant.
Yeah.
This is a real thing. This isn't something someone did. This is a
Oh
real
my
fucking
God.
thing.
But
That's
see,
a thick boy.
okay, but see how it threads on and shit. But that other picture just looked like it was shit.
Yeah,
It
just
didn't look
looked
like it was
somebody,
attached
like,
right.
glued
Like
it.
I don't doubt that it comes that way. I just think that the other gun that Canada grabbed was like someone who bought that just like JB welded the fucker on there.
I bet. Yeah, they just bought the muzzle brake.
You gotta get the what's his name? Oh my god. Who's the nihilistic penguin guy? The butt why? Like
The butthole why?
No, there's a oh man, he's got a crazy name. And he's like a documentarian and he does like these really weird like Kino movies. And there's this one about this like this penguin that's like committing suicide because it's a nihilistic penguin. And it's
Is
like,
that the one where he runs off into the?
yeah. What is
Yeah,
it
I love
called?
that.
What's the guy's name though? I'm blanking on his
Bro,
name.
I've got a fucking pistol grip shotgun. I might buy one of these.
But you need but why as a sound drop, like, and especially when you're looking at this shit.
Seriously, like this is like almost identical to the shotgun I have without the
Werner
heat shield.
Herzog. That's it. Sorry. I just remembered it.
Wow, bro, my whole life has been changed. Like I can't even. I was like, oh, look at this retard. I thought it was like a 50 cal, like a 50 cal.
Oh, wait.
Turns out the retard is Mossberg.
God.
Keep in mind, they made the taser shotgun. Okay?
Oh, you
They
know
only
what it
made a
is,
couple
bro?
of 'em.
This is the TAC, not the TAC 14. Is this the shock? This is the Shockwave, and they did that. That's what this
Oh.
is, a Mossberg Shockwave, and then they got this because this muzzle brake thing
Holy
is old
shit.
and the Shockwave is new.
That looks like so like you know how
But
you
the,
like you
the,
get
the
a
fucking Shockwaves didn't have heat shields.
you
this
know
is
how you
just
get like
No,
pissing
they
me
made
off.
it to
potato
the touring
cannon
group.
on your truck, like the exhaust pipe to like make it sound worse. This is like the reverse of a silencer. This makes your gun sound loud.
It's a megaphone.
Yeah.
It's like a gun megaphone.
It's a
Yeah,
loud
this is-
answer.
A loudncer.
This
It's
is
the
like,
Honda Glass Pack equivalent, you know?
yeah, dude, you get a
This is
lowrider
cool.
and then you put that on.
I actually really like this. I'm not really partial to Remingtons, but I like.
What the fuck?
So like this is a stock right here that folds up, which is
Yeah,
cool
it's-
because like you could
It
put
looks
this in a
cool, though.
backpack or something and then take it out.
Look,
flip this
I got
down.
a 87 Cutlass
Shit
that I
some
use as a getaway car. and it fits
Extra
perfectly
grip.
With that in my pocket.
Right. Wait,
Did he
but
make
look-
that, or is that
go-
real?
Go one under this one, or two maybe. I don't know. That guy, the
This?
duct tape supreme.
Yeah.
Oh
this
no,
one-
yeah, sorry, he's on the delay. Yeah. So is that real, or did he make that?
I think they do this so that you don't have fingerprints too, or that's the idea. I don't know if it works.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, motherfucker, that's not how fucking tape works. What do you mean? You can have fingerprints all
Okay.
over that.
But we all know.
Even more than normal.
By the way, I
That's how
gotta-
they hold it.
I gotta pop off. I gotta go.
Are you gonna
Thank
do a
you for
desk
coming.
pop? Do a desk pop.
Yeah. A pop?
Desk pop.
What's desk pop?
You don't know what a
It's
desk
when you shoot
pop
the
is,
camera
bro?
on Twitch like that other guy.
Oh. No.
All right, hold on 1 second then. 1 second. This is gonna get me copy struck, but it's too late anyways.
Oh.
Oh no.
All right.
Oh.
Jeez Louise, load. KG's got to go.
See the desk pop.
KG's got a gun.
I always have a gun.
I know.
Oh, let me just turn off YouTube. I
Never
guess,
get
'cause we'll
caught
probably-
lacking.
We'll probably get out of there.
Even though whenever I leave the house, I'm lacking.